the word decent doesn't apply to me.
This man is not a hero, he's a criminal. Shut up!
Hello, sirs and madams. How are you tonight? Well, paying attention is punished, as the show we have been watching contradicts everything it tells us quickly. On Strange New Worlds, they don't have anything right. For instance, they say it's an episodic show. Can a soap opera be episodic? Welcome to the show, and joining me now on the Saving Star Trek Bridge are my friends and my crew. Please welcome now to the stage, and to the bridge, right? We have Sean Carter, Krimwan, JT Kirk, and Radioactive is hanging in suspended animation. The reporter, the transporter has to cycle. He's stuck in the Heisenberg coupling, but we can hear him. You are actually here. I just have to add you, Radioactive. It's really weird stuff. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Saving Star Trek. We just suffered through another episode of Enterprise. I hope you're proud of yourselves. Did you enjoy our pain? Hey.
Well, sir, point of clarification. Was not Enterprise. It was Strange New Lows.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Ringo,
Wow.
That was the greatest episode I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Oh, Strange New Woke.
I don't
You
know
were
what to
talking
call
about
what we just walked.
I
we
don't
just
think
watched,
there's enough
rather.
soap that I could wash this episode out of my eyes.
Listen,
you
so-
can't unsee it.
Ouch.
Well, out of someone's eyes in this episode, anyway.
You can
Let's
go
say
straight
you're
up.
blinded
Whoa.
by the light, as Manfred Mann used to say.
Listen, episode 5 is always a problem. It's not unique to this show. That said, their episode 1 is worse than most people's episode 5. Episode 5 of every show is usually kind of a slow drag. I don't know why their episode 5 was hyperactive and tried to do too much. Why do we have all these characters? This was one of the dumbest, most self-important things I've ever watched. I watched it 4 or 5 times, and I also later today, and hello, sirs and madams, by the way, later today, I spent the whole day, yes, Sean. I spent the whole day making a video essay. It's almost done. It is essentially done. I can improve it a little bit if I release it tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, which is the same thing as having it out now. By the way, have you checked out the video essay for Enterprise? And Ruby Hoove has gifted us a membership. Thank you, Ruby Hoove. Thank you so much for gifting our channel a membership. Let's see who got that one. Who got the free membership? I heart you, Ruby Hoove.
It was
with a
not
$5
Kremlin.
super chat too. Oh my gosh.
It was not.
Can't
Kremlin.
stay. Everyone, General Teague. General Teague's Random Adventure is not Kremlin. Sorry, can't stay. Everyone have a great time. Aw, thank you, Ruby Hoove. We're gonna have a great time hanging out together. Now the tough part is over. The tough part is the part where we watch this mockery of Star Trek. And hello, Susan Dolan. And let's see who we have out there. Jonathan
Where is
Hancock.
that
Hello, sir.
general? The general. Where is he?
You know what? If he has any sense, he's hiding from that show and listening to our review. Hello, Susan Dolan. Hello, Jonathan Hancock. Hello, Gavin Blackburn. Radioactive is with me. The Trek reviewer is out there. I see you, Trek reviewer. It's very good to see you.
I feel like,
to
Admiral, if
JT.
we only had
Yes.
400 liters of warp plasma, we could fix this episode all the way to Berlin.
Just 400 liters of war. You give me the men, and I'll give you the war right now. You know, I finished reading a Patton documentary, Patton biography last night, and they keep saying that the CIA may have killed him at the end of the war. Based on his statements, that was the right thing to do. It was probably the right thing to do. Oh my God, the things the things that we have heard from Patton were absolutely endorsing the previous regime that he replaced, saying they were great. Crazy stuff. Thank you so much, Ruby Hoof.
Do things to himself.
Right.
Popular. Yeah.
Steinap, the Steinap file is something that we'll find out about one day. If we live to be 100. Hello, Mr. Phobos! Everybody do me a favor. Help me wake up the algorithm. Give this episode a like. There's also out there a video essay for Twilight. Twilight was the episode of Enterprise we watched last week. The conversation was really good. And what I did was... Oh, that's better. Wow, I just saw that. Can you make mine a little larger? My box should touch all other boxes. What do you think of that? At the edges.
Enhance the view screen.
Yeah, we're still perfecting this. There we go. Yeah, it's genetics. Mine's bigger.
Enhance.
All right.
Enhance.
Listen, guys. We just watched a horrific episode of Strange New Worlds. And I guess JT Kirk told me that if I uncorked him and let him go, he could. Hello, Wes Cagle, by the way, who has a pass if you want to come hang out afterwards. Or if you watch the episode, hey, go for it.
I do have a question for Kirk after JT after this.
Oh,
Go for
it. Okay.
JT,
So, do you believe the white shirt had some great foresight?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I thought he had 20/20 vision myself.
oh, God.
I think he was
yeah.
missing something. It didn't go very well for him.
Okay, so let's see. Admiral, we were talking backstage, over Subspace, and I said, this show is so incredibly dumb and stupid and vapid that I could probably give you the entire synopsis of the episode in great detail in under 30 seconds.
You said you could do it?
That's how empty it was.
It was, you know what? They tried to make it seem very important. The show is always out of its depth. The only thing I was happy about was the only reason we saw that she's got that Gorn thing inside of her, Laurie's part Gorn, is to explain her super strength. I thought we were going to wade into the river and row around a little bit, if you know what I mean, where she's like, it was my choice to be part Gorn. It's like, oh, what are we doing? So I don't know what to say about that one, except, yeah, JT, go ahead. Your challenge is accepted. Go for it.
All right. So at the beginning of this episode, we have a red shirt working in sickbay who doesn't even say his name in his own log. Talk about a bunch of stupid things that don't matter.
That figures prominently into the essay, by the way. That's one of the things. And also, like, I had to have his voice in there because he speaks clownishly.
So, okay. Red Shirt talks to our Doctor of Great Deletion and gets himself onto an away mission. This away mission has Christine and her beta boyfriend, the archaeologist, out there breaking every rule of archaeology using magic to unlock a hidden temple. This temple then spends the next 40 minutes of the episode revealing everything that needs to be revealed to characters that know everything, that give 2-minute nervous breakdown exposition dumps. And Christine is the magical key to everything, as explicitly stated twice in the episode. Yep. Everybody makes it out. Okay, there is nothing wrong. It's completely stupid that they're even in there in the first place. And at the very end, we get a battle between two evil entities that are ghosts. At that point,
Is that
Captain
what happened?
Pike says that morality is all relative. They're good and evil are just your imagination. And we get some Marvel humor right in between Pike's relativism and Dr. Deletionist giving a call to the parents and family of the deleted red shirt. That's the episode. And if you wanted a bonus synopsis piece, we get eye horror because Kurtzman can't help himself with body horror of the eyes. So in this, if you think, I don't even want to say the name of the movie from the 90s, Admiral.
Yeah. It's Event Horizon.
We wish we were
The
him
Event
during this
Horizon
episode.
eye deletion, or eye feature removal. It's an exact copy of that.
And they do it a lot. This time it's exactly like that. They're obsessed with eyes. Section 31, the worst thing we've ever seen. That starts with her drinking an eyeball cocktail and eating the eyeball olives.
So,
It
Admiral,
is some of the
was
dumbest shit
the
ever.
entire episode. That was all that anyone needed to know. That was all.
You
that
got a
actually
lot more out of it than I did. I watched that shit 4 times and made a video essay about it. When I said in this week's train wreck story, we go through some bullshit at a place.
I couldn't even look
Honestly, I have no clue what to tell you about that one. I thought that we were going to go down to this planet and meet someone along the lines of Rook, and for a while it looked like we were doing it, but no. And then, for some stupid reason, we have to stop and say that and say that we have what do you call it? We have to stop the whole story just to make sure that we have a moment. And this was the only moment with Pike and Una where and Pike shows up a little bit later to tell Mabanga, you know what, you're a great DEI hire. But this is the only moment where we have Pike and Una in the episode. They're just kind of telling people to quit fucking around and go do your job. They're in episodes that aren't about them, they're shown as the most disinterested delegators of power, especially Pike. Pike doesn't even want to have to. He fights aggressively against being informed about this stuff. Now, I thought we would find some androids, but what we end up finding is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade minus heart, soul, and a brain. It was a zombified amalgam. The Alex Kurtzman stories are like assassin bugs. You know the assassin bug? It kills other bugs and then sucks out their innards and then puts their carcasses on its back to look like a pile of dead bugs so it can kill other bugs. That is bad. That is Secret Hideout. Secret Hideout is like the assassin bug, wearing the dead franchises on its body as camouflage and as trophies, ritualizing the body of Star Trek. This was ritualizing Star Trek.
Not to speed race to the end of our show tonight, but the
thank you, good night.
The reality is, folks, I gave you every single plot point of this, and it took no time at all. The thing is, if you've seen Kurtzman Trek, whenever they actually try to explore a strange new world, nothing happens. You get a mystery box. Things just go from point A to point B. People know things they have no business knowing for no explained reason or no experience of their own. Well, that's basically
absolutely nothing was explained this week.
Right,
nothing was explained.
That happened all the time in Disgracery.
Oh, guys! By the way, I forgot to put up our branding. Look what I got for us. We have our own little brand now up in the corner. Look at that.
Nice.
I think I got my own red alert.
This happened so much in Discovery that you're like, oh, well, this is the standard Akiva Goldsman, Alex Kurtzman playbook, and it is.
We have so much magic in all these stories. They're almost supernatural. This was supernatural. They go supernatural so often. For instance, we will one day have Una's immune system like deflect a phaser bolt.
Well, Teague, you were reading my mind here because I was like, okay, well, why is this written like an exact copy of everything Kurtzman's ever done whenever they try to do this type of story? Well, that's because he is credited at the top with slander on the name of Gene Roddenberry. And then I went and looked at who wrote this week's episode. Well, one of the writers is known for being a grip on a previous production.
What?
That's the end of their IMDb. The
That
other
must have been the
one,
guy. That must have been the guy because the girl that's the co-writer on this episode was.
That
the one
sounds
did,
like you take a writing credit and I'll give you some money, Radioactive. Holy shit.
No, it was the woman, Anitra Johnson. Was a camera person, additional crew, on 2 shorts.
Wasn't she? But wasn't she the writer on? I think she was the one that was the writer on Warping Dead, wasn't she? Or was she the one that did the Q Wedding Crashers?
She's been a writer's assistant on Strange New Worlds, so I'm not including their own horrible ass show. She might have been from one of those
Is
episodes.
this the person we've mentioned before? He was picked up from like bad young adult novels.
I don't even no. This is someone else. But her previous work before SNW was a grip on the short called Nightside and a production assistant.
Sean,
Those-
would you elaborate the job of the grip?
Teague. Sorry to interrupt, Teague,
Go
but
ahead.
Jonathan Hancock got it right. Key grip at the helm.
Yeah.
It's
I get you
it's
to call that one out.
absolutely
That was good.
astonishing. And hey, Radioactive, thank you. Happy Enola Gay Pride Week. Is it this week? Admiral
it
Teague
is.
celebrations on August 6th were a blast. August 9th is going to be the bomb. You know what? August 9th we'll review Wolverine Nagasaki, the one where he's there when the bomb gets dropped. We'll
go.
review that movie.
Awesome.
So yeah. The other one besides Anitra, which Supernatural rings true here. There is a very supernatural element, and I didn't want to say the name of Deep Horizon because we all kind of watched it and thought, well, the gouged out optics and the spirits, possessions, evil demons released from places unknown. Yeah, sure sounds like it. But the other writer for this, Davey Perez, is a legit writer. He wrote for the most popular thing he wrote for was 52 episodes of Supernatural.
Look,
Now,
man, something's
when you
going on with
realize
the key
that-
grip being the fucking writer.
Yeah. Well, yeah. A key grip being the writer and a supernatural writer. So now you know why this feels like an episode of Supernatural because
this was so
that guy
occultish.
wrote it. This is
So
your
wait a minute. What was she
supernatural
key
genre
gripping?
show.
What was she?
Sean is more
gripping?
qualified for this one. Yeah, exactly. It seems like not the kind of way to move up in the Kurtzman company. Like it was a good old fashioned heterosexual sleeping around. Give me a break, Sean. You're more qualified to explain this than most people. Would you please explain to people what the key grip does?
You know what? I've forgotten it. It's
It's kind of an all around go for. It's like you have to know a little bit about all tech. You have to be able to pitch it and carry stuff around. That's the person that Tom Cruise's character said to punch. Les Goldman tells the key grip to punch the director of Tropic Thunder in the face.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a physical side of it.
Yeah, it's a crew technical. You got to be, strong. You work
But
a lot
this
of
is not
hours.
like a cinematographer.
No.
A cinematographer.
No,
This
there's
is more
nothing
like
creative
the
about a
key
key
grip
grip.
doesn't even move the extras around the set.
Your
It doesn't
muscle.
arrange the show cards. Your muscle, yeah.
Your
This
muscle,
sounds
yeah.
like this sounds like this should be looked into. Honestly, L.A. Do you have Vancouver? Do you have embezzlement squads or whatever it is? I'm saying right now, if I was a DA, I would issue a fucking warrant right now for those books. What the fuck? The key grip? I want that grip in my office. I want them to fucking explain to me the plot of the episode. I want them to explain to me the lighting scrims they used. I want to know the size of the cameras, and none of these things would I understand at all. But I would have someone who knew about that stuff in the room with me, and when they left, they'd be like, "Do I throw them in jail or not?" And or send them up to Steinup Island.
Such a stark difference
Hi, Wallace.
between everything that used to happen, even on TNG, where people would take the best scripts that they'd ever written and just send them into Gene, and they would get thrown away left and right because he'd have 100 of them to work through, and then they would be adapted with his say so and some of the other folks. Right? This looks like they have a supernatural writer, a grip, and then Alex Kurtzman, and the three of them get together and say, "What genre should we write this week?"
But you know
And,
what?
and
Just
that-
really
it
quick,
shows.
radio.
It shows.
They have said that, and next year we get a puppet show if they last. But Radioactive found the technical definition is the key grip is the head of the grip department on a film or television set responsible for overseeing the construction and rigging of equipment to support cameras, lighting, and other gear. They collaborate with the cinematographer and other departments to bring the director's vision to life, ensuring camera movement, lighting setups, and overall safety. So, like, this is the person who would build the track that camera would be dollied long to have a long rolling shot. This is the person who would arrange to have crane shots done. But I don't know. I mean, key grip. I mean, I guess you're not.
Equipment. It's all equipment related.
It seems
stuff.
more. Yeah, I thought it was more like, we have to have these trucks out of here by 10 a.m. and then we have to start building. I don't know what I.
No, okay.
What
so
the
this in
hell?
its own- this
That
in
is
its own-
shocking.
This in its own is not like, okay, if one time this happened, okay, fine. Maybe that person gave him a script or something after work or left it on a chair somewhere and they picked it up and Kurtzman said, this has some good potential. I want to see what this kid can do. No, this is like symptomatic of what happens every week. We already had
Doesn't have money for real writers.
the
There are real
wedding,
sci-fi
the wedding
writers.
episode was written by somebody who was not the best author in the world, and she kept getting rejected from Voyager so many times they finally let her write some books to let her go away and stop bothering them. I'm not kidding. Like we've gone through this every single week. There's some rando that would not be trusted with Star Trek or a serious thing. See, people, this is what folks, you have to realize this. Star Trek is the property for Paramount. They bombed out on Halo. They bombed out on half a dozen other things. When you look at all of their commercials, it's Eric Cartman talking to Anson Mount. Okay. This is their live action streaming property leading IP. And this is
By
what
the
they
way,
do
is it too much of a tonal shift to go from fucking slapstick bullshit with puppets and cartoons and nonsense like that to a horror story in 1 week? Whiplash enough? I mean, what are they trying to do here with this show? What are your goals? Honestly.
They're pissed that they're gonna lose it, and they're breaking their toys and burning it down before they leave.
So I'm just looking at the notes that Radioactive gave us on the key grip. So they do have some interaction with the production people if they're going to build, building sets and stuff like that. But
this woman was just a grip.
A grip.
I think the grip.
You would figure that she would have to be like in a more like, this is like as weird as having that Commodore be the chief engineer yelling at Scotty all day. It just doesn't make sense. The key grip, like, that's a job to aspire to in and of itself, or grip, whatever. Maybe they just were a writer and they were around the area and they're like, you know what, for one day, you're a pretty physical person. Why don't you be a grip? And you're like, all right, what do I do? It's like, you know what, you're in charge. You're putting tape on the ground today and putting up
she
signs.
may have been the key grifty grip.
Yeah.
This whole thing, in my opinion, smells like a grift.
Or G.I. Joe with a kung fu grip.
And James Caserta, hello to you, sir.
Kurt,
I can work with a girl that has a kung fu
The
grip.
Bayer books are horrible.
They are.
Is that what
They
you're?
are.
Is that?
I've read
Yeah,
it. I've read two or three
we've
of them,
seen
and I'm
the
like, why
titles.
is this so bad? And like, not anything like actual Voyager.
Wow. So we have
Yeah.
a failed Voyager fanfic
That was
writer. And by the
years
way,
ago.
this episode was so much worse than The Caretaker. This was so much worse than The Caretaker. The Caretaker was Shakespeare in the Park compared to this. Wallace Lang is right. They have to get rid of Alex Kurtzman before he destroys whatever is still salvageable of Star Trek. It'll always be salvageable. It'll be years off. I think this is what Kurtzman's doing. And sirs, we could go around the horn and then we'll give our thoughts on the episode. But this is what I think Kurtzman's doing in his last few moments of being unauthorized as the company deal closes, finally. And an adult is going to be able to tell him to shut up and sit down. He has the right to make Star Trek. Okay? He has the right to make Star Trek for a couple more years. Alex Kurtzman has the right to make Star Trek, and CBS Paramount has first bid, and they can buy it. Now there might be parameters; they might have to offer him a certain amount, but they're supposed to buy it, right? Now, if they decide that they don't want it, he still retains the rights to that Star Trek story, and he could sell it to someone else. So, like, let's say like Paramount was like, "Fuck Section 31, it's bullshit." It still could have gone to like A24. You know what I mean? Like, so he could do that. He has the right to sell Star Trek at garbage rate.
Right.
He has the right. He has the ability to sell Star Trek below cost at garbage rates to people, to poison the whole brand. He could go on. Like this they them Hadar at the Star Trek Academy could be out there, in some form or another. Everything he does has been like, at some point early on, there was a two-pronged accusation made. It said this Star Trek was made bad wrong for one of two reasons. That was out there. People said that. This was reason one was they're making it bad and wrong to be fired, because if fired, they'll get their 1 year's pay for that year, their 5 years buyout pay, and start working on something else, therefore realizing 7 years pay in two. Not too shabby, right? What backs that up is that what backs that up is when things didn't work out, what did they do? They doubled production time, which allowed them to get other projects and make twice as much money anyway. They also have the intellectual outlet. But what did they do? They blamed the fans, and they doubled production time both times. So I guess this Poverty Row Star Trek, I personally think it's extortion, and that what happens is he made this stuff and he's like, I got a fucking puppet show I'm going to pull out of my ass next. And if you don't buy it, I'll sell it to fucking ABC. I'll sell it to Disney. I can do it. I'll do it. And then Disney will have their dirty hands all over it, and they'll have a fucking Star Trek puppet show right through fucking candy cane land.
Figures over everything else,
name.
NFL and WWE as of lately. So
He has this is what the way Tom Connors explained it to me, and this was also laid out again in an article I read. So I've been researching this one hard for a certain time forward, but I don't know how much longer. He has the right to make Star Trek.
Yes,
and he also here's the other thing.
100% correct.
The other reason he was accused of making it bad on purpose was so that he could break it badly enough so that he could keep it. This was just things people accused him of. They said he was making it badly so he could keep it. Now they said, well, he has. Well, think about how much more it's worth than anything he has.
I know it's true, but it just shows how dumb he is.
It's a dumb plan,
retard.
but we have something like 130 episodes of super stupid Star Trek to prove that these people aren't smart.
Yeah,
they took the money. These people are not smart. They're not detail oriented. This poor writer who's conceived of this episode and had a few parts in here and there where, like, he tried to make it feel like Star Trek, or this guy was probably like, I'll be the one who can turn him around. I could do this. I could have my episode won't have to relate to all the other ones. And they're like, oh, we decided that it's going to have some of this in it. And it's like, and has everybody noticed by now? I gave this one away last week, but has anyone noticed women with good figures don't always have a clipboard in front of their stomach when they walk anywhere at all times with their hands crossed. Like Ellen Page.
They didn't do that in one shot.
She had a leather jacket on, and you can see she looked. When she moved her arms open to
her belly was hanging over her belt.
She had a real bad beer belly.
One of the scenes, and it's not that she's like super out of shape; it's that they put her in a horrible costume.
They will not tailor that costume. They will not. That costume was tailored better for the dude who wore it.
No, that part is true. They also did something really bad with the makeup and the lighting, and it makes it look like both Christine and Lon have a 5 o'clock shadow under the nose.
Yeah,
I'm
something.
not even kidding. There was something
Jerry
wrong
Finnerman
there.
is turning over in his grave. If you're still with us, I apologize, Mr. Finnerman. But somewhere out there, Finnerman's family is so unhappy because the lighting in Star Trek used to be so great. And hello, Wallace. When I see a credit for music, I'm like, where was it? And when I went back and watched it that fourth time, I did hear it here and there.
Yeah,
It
they
is
had
so
some good piano
backmixed.
stuff.
It's
but
so
it was
backmixed
totally
though. It's
wrong.
not properly sound engineered into the episode.
That's true. But you see, because we had the supernatural writer, all the elements on this show that were like the magic grenade that has like some weird spirit in it. Now,
Was it a
these two
grenade?
characters are
It was a Pokemon ball.
inexplicably.
Come on, no, it was
I
a
know-
Pokeball.
Guys, this
Thought he
episode
proved
is
that at the end.
It was
So
definitely
so dumb. Yeah, it was so dumb.
I
Just
agree.
Clapped it together.
Yeah, but here's what happened. If you've ever seen in the 90s, early 90s or late 80s, there was a movie called Prince of Darkness. And the idea was that Satan was just a big, huge bong full of gross, disgusting bong water from like the 1st century AD in some church in like fucking urban Detroit. How it got there, we don't know. But like that was the influence on that.
And so I did want to also say this: when you mix supernatural into this show, it makes it even dumber than what they had before, because they already were just using magic to explain everything. And this week they get locked into this crypt that they're totally disrespecting, defiling, and not following any
Some crimes
archaeological
going on here.
rules. You sit here and you think, okay, now they have everything. It was like, I'm trying to explain this to people in a way that you understand. There were supposed to be plot elements and development and danger and situations where things, stakes escalate, but none of that ever happens because the characters all just know everything that they're supposed to know. And anytime there's anything that might be considered dangerous, they just roll a natural D20, like D&D, or they roll all sixes and shout Yahtzee every single time. So there's no risk or danger at any point whatsoever. And all we get is some weird ghost stuff sprinkled on top of it. And it's supposed to be scary. It doesn't work. The
This
actors
is like the 5th time we've run into weird ghosts too.
Yeah, the actors don't care. Now, Radioactive, you brought up a point when you and I were watching this together earlier, about the loss of vision technology.
Okay.
Did you want to bring that up? Because I thought it was a great
Um,
point. If you wanted to talk about that,
Which point did I make? I know you made
Mr.
the point about-
LaForge.
Oh, Power Shades LaForge. Yeah, I mean, what was the deal with that? I mean, if they can, so we got to catch people up on this. So, there's a guy that ends up in a situation where he's blinded by the light, so to speak, and
The
we
Pokeball.
could-
The
I think
Pokeball
if we just-
detonates in his face.
It's fine to call him sightless. He's
the
rendered
gore-
sightless.
Well, he got a hold of the Gorny grenade of Antioch, and instead of counting to 3 and throwing it, he kept it till 5.
Like 7. Here's, yeah,
Okay.
the episode really makes Mabanga look terrible too, because what happens is disinterested Pike doesn't care who goes on the away mission, and he puts Chapel, who's a medical person, in charge of keeping like her boyfriend in line while he's on a non-Federation dig supported by Federation technology, but the Federation has no say over it, but she's in charge and she's Federation. And so this seems to result in she can act like a bitch to Spock, who's supposed to be in charge, but isn't, because he's just not Corby.
Well,
So
to address the issue with the eyes. So another one of those great timeline anomalies. So Mabanga gets back, or Majenga, as I've called him in the past. Majenga decides that this guy gets back to the sick bay, and he tells him, "Oh, we can regrow your eyes." And I'm
That
thinking,
was-
what?
With a VR helmet.
With a yeah,
With
and
a
not
meta-
any-
a meta
yeah,
VR
with a meta
mask.
VR. helmet. Okay, as
Yeah.
you point out, it was a Meta design. It's not any VR helmet. It's not an
It's
Apple.
time for another
Meta.
review of Star Trek.
So,
sorry.
so, anyways, he says he can regrow his eyes. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Power Shades LaForge couldn't have his eyes fixed 80 years later. So
They took him another 20 years. By the way, all this walking in the hallway, you'd figure she'd be in better shape. Look at this ship teeming with life. Look at this vivid living starship, huh, Sean? Your mighty starships!
They couldn't even get the key grip in a uniform and put them walking in the back.
Oh, it's
Well,
awful.
she was key
Harv
gripping.
Bennett, where are you when we need you?
She was key gripping Kurtzman, apparently.
Yeah.
She was the one trying to make sure the doors opened. You know, like on the original series, how they had two people, one open the left half, one open the right. That's why.
I've detected life on the planet below. Hold on, guys. Let me just get it in the transporter. I think I could beam it right to the bridge. Let's see what we can do here. We have with us now in our studio Wes Cagle. Hello, sir. Sir.
Sir. I wouldn't call it
Sir.
life on the planet.
From which direction hast thou cometh, Sir of Hegel?
I cometh from the land of the setting sun.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
By the way, guys,
West.
this is from today's video essay that I spent all day working on. Here's a little tease. I made sure to get every single producer's name in there because I feel like, by the way, is this not the best part of every show?
It is until the D7 Cruiser freaks the hell out
Yes.
and just screen clips its way after the Enterprise. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happens at the end there. They ran out of money, but they wouldn't give up on the visual. It looks like shit at the end. This
Right
is
there,
what JT's
right
talking
there,
about.
yeah.
It's just that I'm only putting in the names of the producers. Why should they be allowed? That lady is with Rings of Power now. That's Kristen Byer
So-
went to Rings of Power.
Radioactive.
See, look how cool this is. We never see shit like this during the show.
Oh, no, you
The
don't.
show never,
Oh, wait a minute.
ever,
Wait, hold
none
on.
of this has been in the show.
Teague, don't move the screen. Davey Perez, that was the co-writer for
Yes.
this episode.
There we go.
Yes.
I did my research. That's why I pulled it up.
Yep.
Here we go. And look at the prime spot he got. This is what I would want Sean, is this not when you would want your name to be shown? Sir.
Not on this show.
How is he an
No,
executive
but I mean, what a
producer?
cool special effects moment.
Yeah, definitely. You prominently displayed there with a cool picture of the Enterprise. Yeah. They're probably going to.
Yeah, but wait a minute. What gives you the right to be an executive producer on a show where you write one episode
Yeah.
with 5 other people?
That's called a kickback that you then throw back into the show to fund it. Sounds like a little bit of money laundering going on there.
Well,
What's
yeah,
going
little-
on?
little
The
here,
grip
little
sounds like really. That's that one is setting off all sorts of alarm bells in my mind.
Dare you?
What the fuck are you thinking? What do I know? But the opening guys, this opening sequence would make you think that this was the greatest space adventure show of all time. Of all time. They don't why they didn't buy 35 shots to use through the car. We have no shots of our ship just cruising through space. We really don't. We see the
It's
saucer
always-
And that was
section.
the key
Rocks
piece
and
of
stuff
the show
and-
in the 90s. Right?
But I mean, excuse me, JT. Go
For
ahead.
TNG, yeah, for TNG, they would take every chance they could to show the 1701D flying around, even if it was for only 5 seconds. They always made sure that you knew where things were taking place, especially
And on
coming
the
back
old-
from commercials and things like that. And I guess that's part of the problem with streaming here and the way that they've done it is that you don't get the opportunity to get you back into your seat for a few seconds by showing the ship. And I think it's to the show's detriment a little bit because the style is different, right?
They don't
The
even have the
format's
standard. Yeah, stylistically, it's designed to be that way. They don't have the standard ship just cruising through space, going from point A to point B. They don't
Or
have like
orbiting a
5.
planet or
Yeah,
something
orbiting
like
a
that.
planet. Yep.
They don't have a variety
Right.
of shots like that. We always see isolated with just stars, and then we just go right down into that saucer section, and then we're right on the ship. And this video essay, really, I think it's pretty accurate. I mean,
Well,
this is the most important
they
thing to
would
them is
always
this credit
have-
sequence with their dumb. And by the way, I've had time to think about this one. How stupid is there, Spock? 2 people appear on the fucking transporter pad, and he doesn't even look at the other person. He didn't look at who was beaming aboard. Nothing. And who introduces anyone as their date? And by the way, the star date is now in Star Trek: The Voyage Home.
Wait a minute. That's a Vulcan there? That's Spock.
Now that's Roger Corby.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
Yeah,
that's
he's a
not
human.
Vulcan the tire. That
Welcome
was,
aboard,
That's
sir.
our Irishman. That's the Irishman right there.
Oh, okay.
Somebody,
all right.
yeah, somebody's got divorced from an Irish person on this show this year. They are just teeing off on the Irish. As an American of Irish descent myself, I find it kind of humorous and petty. But did anyone else think that? Let's just get around the horn here. Everybody, does anybody else think Corby's already an android? We're gonna skip that part and find out at the end. That'll be our end of season crazy thing. Maybe we'll turn it
No.
into a big bad.
No.
If he's an android, then he's beta 1.
He's being tested. Yeah.
But she, and the funny thing on this was, I don't know about if we think he's an android as a reveal, but they have the chemistry and just the on-screen presence of like 2
This
blocks
was-
of wood. This is the
This
worst.
is like if I saw
acted-
my ex-wife now level of interest.
yes,
like,
yes.
Yes,
she
but
And
makes
by the
her
way-
face again when they
between
kiss.
these
By the
two,
way,
there's more chemistry between these two than her and Spork.
All the love scenes in this are soap opera level
Oh.
bad. By the way, I just want to say it again. Look what she's doing. They really are going out of their way to camouflage this a little bit. For once, they're being charitable to her. She's wearing green, standing in front of green, and she's got her hands crossed. Where? In front of her stomach. This is a woman that they make wear a catsuit, guys. She
That
can't
ain't
even
her
pair off-
stomach. That ain't her stomach.
No, but I mean, she's moved them down. But I mean, most of she had them crossed up a little higher. Her acting style is Elliot Page, walking around with the crossed arms at all times, and she has to cover her midsection to her lower body with her hands at all times to break up the fact that she's very, very just square.
for
Her
those of
shoulders
you
are too small. Her hips are too big.
for those of you that didn't see these 2 kissing in this week's episode, they have the chemistry of neon and argon, and she makes a face when they kiss again. She flinches. You can't hide that from me
It's
anymore.
almost. Yeah, you know
I'm
what?
looking
She
for
was
it.
doing it to get an extra break and get a bump in pay so that she could go like to the intimacy coordinator and cry.
You can go
Oh,
complain
you
to HR.
Well, the thing is that she doesn't like kissing Corby because, as you said, he's not an android. He's actually an apple.
I would think that they would want Corby to be an android because then he would be like they would reduce all men to just he would be a vibrator, right? I mean,
This
he's
isn't
her
a WNBA.
vibrator.
Wait.
Come
That
on.
went over everybody's head. He's not an apple. He's not an android. He's an apple.
I got it.
Now I get
He's
it,
gonna run out
sirs.
of battery power
That's
pretty
funny.
soon.
No, if he's an android, I hope he's just like Ash. They deserve it.
I do not see them building a set to transform him into an android on screen. I do not think. I mean, what kind of bad guy are they going to develop in the roughly 13 or 14 episodes allotted to them when the season that they thought would be just another season allegedly ends? Like they didn't know this would be the end. But by the way, Kurtzman, we have a voicemail here for you.
You asshole.
Oh, Kurtzman.
See, you're thinking that they're way more clever than they actually are, Teague, and that's the problem. See, nobody really believes this with Corby, but we really just don't care. And so if they do something trying to be clever with Corby, people are going to hate it. At best, he's
This is
just
me
interested.
watching the show. This is me with on Twitter today.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're already so disinterested in whatever Corby's supposed to be there for that we just, if they want to do something clever with him, I don't care how well they write it, no one cares. Straight up say no one cares.
Oh, no one cares. This is now. Listen, guys, I did not have a difficult time finding footage of them walking through the hallway. It looks like I was really lazy and just like copy and pasted the same, and I could have gotten away with doing that.
There's a background actor.
There's a background actor.
There's
I
one.
think they were. I think they were filmed later. You know what I mean? Like it's so unnatural looking. Everything's unnatural in this hallway. The hallway of broken careers. And did Corby do a couple of lines of like android cocaine? What? Look at his eyes. Like, I don't know. Me, Christine, me, Darren. And she's like, oh, Roger, ever since I put those new D size in you, you've been like Mabanga in there.
Hey, I want to point out something you
always
got on the
after me, Lucky
screen here.
Charms.
You got something on the screen here that kind of bugs me in the episode. Look where her pendant is. Her Starfleet thing is like up near her collarbone. That is not where they're supposed to be. It just bugged me. It's like all high and like toward the center of her chest.
To be fair, it could have been in the right place when she started walking down this hallway. We have seen what this onesie they put on her does. From here on in, anyone using the term catsuit to describe her outfit will be kicked, okay, from the panel. It's not a catsuit. It's a fucking onesie. Hello, Kimberly Ann Hart.
Kitty
It's very
kimono.
nice to see you here.
Kitty kimono. That's
Do you have a picture of the red shirt from the beginning of the episode? Because I noticed that first shot, homie had shoulder pads like a 90s fashion model. Like,
I thought
I have
that's
the other red
80s, no?
shirt in here.
The shoulder
Or
pads were
80s,
big
yeah.
time
It was
80s.
like-
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say shoulder.
This is what we're talking about, kids.
yeah.
This is the holy hand grenade of Antioch. This fucking moron. This fucking idiot.
Just
By the
picks
way,
it up
here's
with his bare hand, doesn't scan it. Like, oh, I wonder what this is.
this is not part of any part of the show you'll see. Although this looks like an episode of the animated series in the Mushroom World.
That explains it. There's his shoulder pads. Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at the you know what? I don't want to sound like I don't want to be an asshole about this one, but I don't notice any white guys with like rock and roll hair. Where's our white guy with rock and roll hair?
You know,
Where's like Lieutenant Commander Fett for Hire walking in with like some length? You know what I mean? Like where are the guys in the ship who are just like I heard some noise after curfew last night, number one. What was it? It was like, oh, sir, it's the anniversary of the death of Ozzy Osbourne. A lot of the crew were gathered in the in the portside rec room, which I guess is now what Pike's quarters is. Although when we see Pike's quarters again, there's a roaring fire in the background.
What?
I don't know why. Yeah, this show is fucking like intellectually disabled. And Lori, man, if you like seeing black people yell at and hit white people, and if you like seeing women yell at and hit men, this is the show for you.
Well, I just got to go
This
to
is the show for
Walmart
you.
for that.
Did that ball look like something from Pal World? Didn't look like a Pokeball. It looked like something from Pal World.
It's the
have
Gordy
been.
grenade of Antioch.
Yes.
Thou shalt
I
pull
love-
out thy
I
pin
love-
and count to 3.
How no one else was
Wallace
harmed
Lang is
because this
leaving
is
here.
the most thoughtful holy hand grenade that we've ever seen, and it only went after
Talk
his
to you later,
eyes.
Wallace.
It only went after his eyes, nothing else.
I
His
want to
nose,
point
fine.
out this is where we get to know our character. We zoom in on this guy from behind. This is such Alex Kurtzman's storytelling. We zoom in on this guy from behind. Yeah, this is Alex Kurtzman's style, right? He likes to zoom in from behind. Alex Kurtzman's storytelling style, yeah. What's the first thing we see is he has an unmilitary haircut, although his attitude was nice for someone on this show who actually wanted to be there. It was
Yeah,
one of
it's
the
the
first
only one who
times
wants to be
I
on the
have
ship.
ever seen someone who wanted to be there. I knew he was going.
Yep.
This character just gets unceremoniously, absolutely fucking fridged, absolutely fucking fridged.
Yep.
And
That
we
was
have
gonna-
great.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna. That was my only part of the episode I actually liked because he had a cool attitude in the beginning. He was like, "I want to go on an away mission," and Mabenga, the guy that's acting,
It was a little bit fatherly.
He sells it like he was like a good leader to this guy. I was like, well, Mabenga's being a cool.
I
CEO
consider
to
him
this
a
guy.
bad leader because the actual recommendation that he was not allowed or ready to go, he was not allowed to go on away missions because he was too dumb, turned out to be right.
Well, yeah, I mean they should have picked something a little more easy, but I like the guy that plays Mabenga is actually a decent actor. Like when he smiles or laughs, I believe it. Like he sells it. But that was it. It was like 30 seconds of okay in the episode. That was it.
The problem with poor Mabanga is that a lot of times they use reactions that they'd filmed for something else,
Yeah.
and
it was after he read the script, and then,
really
like, they
makes
just
him
filmed
look
him.
like a.
Yeah, they filmed him after he read the script, and he's just laughing at it.
Well,
Like, get on
the
camera.
thing is, there's like a couple of episodes where say like he mass deletes. There's like 200 injured Federation soldiers in a transporter, and Clint Howard gives him a really grim order to go and delete them because there's not enough medical staff to take care of them. They can't save everybody. And it's like nothing even compassionate. Like, what about the ones with the hangnail, sir? He's just like, okay. And then like they use the reaction for something else. So like when Mabanga walks over there, it's like boop, and he's like, well, I'll be off duty in an hour. And I think I'll go dancing tonight. It's like, what the hell? It was definitely from something else.
Oh, of course. The other thing on this is I mentioned in the synopsis, we don't know his name. We don't know his rank.
They say his name once. It's Gamble.
And his
Yeah,
rank was
but-
ensign.
But he
Yeah, he's
doesn't
ensign.
say it.
Always bet on black.
He doesn't say
doesn't say-
ensign's
yeah.
log.
Yeah.
I'm like, who is this? An orderly?
He says junior
Order-
medical officer's log.
Now,
And
Teague,
at that point, you say like, Ensign Teague reporting.
Teague, I know who this guy reminds me of. It threw me off for a long time because of the haircut. You'll appreciate this. It's Vernon Reed from Living Color from back in the late 1980s.
Oh god.
He played very well at the Ozzy Osbourne thing, Vernon Reed. I wish it was Vernon Reed. I would be happy if Vernon Reed
I
was
didn't
on here
think
because
it-
at least he would
Well,
get some
speaking of
money.
The Ozzy concert, I didn't think they gave Vernon Reed nearly enough time. He didn't.
I
get
think he was
to the
shocked to
promo.
be there. I think he might have been a last minute replacement for Wolfgang Van
Oh.
Halen.
You think?
Wolfgang Van
Might
Halen
have
at the
been.
last minute couldn't make it.
Oh,
Let's see, what is Kimberly saying? I still have to wait until September for what? For
I think
what
they're
happened?
done with the series.
Oh, this series, yeah, it'll be over soon enough. Don't worry, we'll see you through it, and then we'll have Landman to watch, which we'll talk about a little bit at the end of this, because this one time we will cross the streams.
Yeah.
But
So
so
Admiral,
this,
when do you want
yes.
to do the presentation that we have ready?
you know what? Why don't we do that now, and we have a very special presentation, ladies and gentlemen, and it is not controversial at all in the least. So we have a very special new feature that we rolled out last week, but it's ready now in its full glory. It is.
Yeah.
It's now prom queen level beautiful, and we hope you enjoy it. We call it Twist. We came up with it. We wrote it. We came up with this ourselves. Sean is the writer of this one. Take it away, Mr. Carter.
Okay. All right. So just to clarify, so we did this as a kind of a spoof. There used to be a show in the 80s called This Week in Baseball, and it was hosted by a guy named Mel Allen, who was a very popular baseball announcer. And so here we go. We're going to show This Week in Star Trek. Let me get that up here.
That's what she said.
Is it showing? Okay. All right, here we go.
Welcome, everybody. Before we move on to tonight's panel discussion, let's take a few minutes to find out what's going on in the news. Join us as we present This Week in Star Trek. To start out this week in Star Trek, let's have a look at some recent birthdays. Ronnie Cox turned 87. Happy birthday, Captain Jellicoe. Watch out for those Cardassians. Nana Visitor turned 68. Will Wheaton turned 53. Shut up, Wesley. Our own panelist Sean Carter celebrated 51 revolutions around the Sol system.
Woo!
Keep trekking, Sean. And now to some Star Trek news. Rumors of Alex Kurtzman's contract renewal have begun to buzz around the shill Hollywood websites. Well, we hear a twist called bullshit.
And fake wig.
More of the disastrous Strange New Worlds continues to anger pop culture enthusiasts. Alex Kurtzman's curb stomping of William Shatner and Gene Roddenberry has sparked outrage among real Trek fans. Someone please show that team of so-called creators to the nearest airlock. Confusion abounds as folks are still trying to comprehend what the hell the upcoming Starfleet Academy is all about. Well, we hear a twist, think it will probably be a lot of walking in hallways, talking about feelings, gay romance, and the likely introduction of 237 new genders. Boy, gaboot. Paramount Plus announced that Strange New Worlds will end with its 5th season, mercifully shortened to 6 episodes. Showrunners Akiva Goldsman and Henry Alako Myers had some nonsense to say about it at the San Diego Comic-Con, but we didn't bother writing it down because who really gives a shit? An interpretive dance version of Star Trek graced the puke-stained pavement outside the San Diego Comic-Con. Made with all the flair and glitz of a Liberace garage sale. Dancers twirled around like first-year theater students who skipped their Ritalin pill, while tens of fans clapped in the heat. And that's the news. Come back next week for more This Week in Star Trek.
All right, there it
Yes.
is, guys.
That was a great-
Tens of fans.
That was a
Tens of
great.
fans clapped in the heat.
No, the
Great
best line
job.
is the Liberace garage sale.
Let's, how about that? Thank you, Sean. That was you did yourself proud. That was a hilarious and fantastic twist in the spirit of Twib from baseball in the 80s, 90s, and I think the last Twib was like 2005 when Mel Allen died. They couldn't the show just lost all popularity, even though baseball was bigger than ever because it was I don't know, his personality was so big and
You just had that right sound.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe
best
next
thing
time,
to watch before the game, right?
Oh yeah, well, I would watch it on Saturday mornings after the cartoons were over. I'd watch Twib, but I think next time maybe I should try Paul Harvey.
Oh, you know what? The only voices that might
They'll
be
think
better
we're
for
having a
baseball.
stroke.
The only voices that might be better are Phil Rizzuto and
You better say Vin Scully or I'll kick you.
no. What's his name from Major League?
Oh, Bob Uecker, yeah.
Bob Uecker.
Oh, Bob Uecker would be a great one. Yeah.
By the way, how beautiful do they make Lori look this week? Oh my God, the One Ring really has been weighing on Lori.
God.
I mean, she was kind of hot season 1. I guess, what did poor Lori? Is it just her misfortune that from season 1 to season 3, she's gone from 47 to 55, and she just looks it. I mean, she
I don't
looks
even know
such
if
the wreck.
Well,
but you
and
know
that's
that-
part of the problem of taking 9 years, seemingly in between seasons, only to make a few smattering of episodes here and there. You know,
That's why I always keep saying we have to keep in mind that, I mean, maybe I don't know about the guy who did Kirk, but some of these people, we have to realize the woman who played Ortega's had a flourishing career absolutely destroyed by this. Star Trek was not known to be a bad actor in 2018 when they roped her into that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And she has been trying to get through her 5-year contract for fucking 9 years or some shit. 6 years.
Yeah.
7 years.
When you
It's
watch
insane.
when you watch TNG or
She
Deep
looks
Space
miserable
Nine
today.
or Voyager, sure, some of them look a little bit older, but they also changed their haircuts and modify the uniforms, and the sets change a
Losing
little
and
bit.
gaining weight.
Yeah,
Sometimes in the same episode.
But in 7 years, 7-8 years with 7 seasons, they don't really age all that much. People in their 30s and 40s, even in the 50s, tend to hold a lot of the same way that they look. And it's gradual. If you were to try to string this show out over 7 years, and it showed with Discovery, because
It didn't show on Mikey Spock, but it showed on Steinmetz. Steinmetz looked real old.
It showed on a lot of the cast, because that's just
Mikey
how
Spock
time works.
went from
We all
like
get older,
29
and-
to like 36, so it didn't affect her. But whoa, like Steinmetz went from like 39 to like 48, and he looked horrible at
At
the
least in
end.
TNG, the series was supposed to span 7 years, so they aged. It made sense. What little they did age, it
Took every minute of it for Marina Sirtis to look good for 10 episodes.
and
at the very end there.
It feels natural as an audience, because you know that these characters are developing, the show is
Right.
getting into its groove, people are evolving the longer that they serve on this crew together. And so that growth, you can even do
That growth can be removed by Dr. Benga.
Yes.
By the way, is the
But
comm
you know what I
badge up
mean?
high
It
so that
feels
we
right.
won't look at her? So is the comm badge where it is, guys? Because eyes up here, kind of a thing.
Well,
Is that
no,
the
it's
statement?
so they don't touch their boobs when they hit the.
Yeah,
comm
it's
badge. Yeah.
my eyes are up here. Is the statement with the comm badge? See, look,
have you guys-
Ethan Peck didn't rate a good leather jacket. He seems to have gotten one of the latex jacket. Christine and a couple of the women had heroic leather jackets. Spock's
It's
leather
faux
jacket
leather.
was fake. Well, Christine's. I
That
think, was real.
soundstage had to have been hot as shit wearing 3 layers, though.
Well,
This was
At
not a
least 3 layers.
soundstage. This is the graveyard for bad asphalt that they filmed that thing with the invisible spider from Discovery. Remember season 5 of Star Trek
Oh,
Discovery? They're
yeah.
like the invisible spider was chasing them, and they're like, it's over there. And Mikey Spock's like, no, we have to go out and not attack the invisible spider. And she was rewarded for that stupidity. But this is Ethan Peck, and Sean, I've said this before, and I think it's the equivalent of Ethan Peck is a lot like Larry Doby's grandson or something like that, or you know what I mean, like I don't know how to explain it, like Roger Clemens III, or right now Yastrzemski's son is on the Rangers, isn't he? Or is it Yastrzemski's grandson? Because
Gotta
Yastrzemski
be
could very well.
grandson.
He's 30 though. That player's 30. That player came up at 30. I want to say one thing that's tough about baseball, I guess, would be that the wages aren't too good for baseball players in the developmental area. And you either have to get out and get a real life or commit to trying to make it in baseball. The Yastrzemski family wealth, I guess, unless this is all just coincidences, and in which case I apologize to Mr. Yastrzemski, but here's the thing. You might not be able to develop to a full-blown baseball player until you're 30. They bought him up this year, and he's playing all right. I mean, he's going to be a 30-year-old rookie of the year, but he's playing all right. I've seen him play like 3 times now. He's got some power, and he can field. Anyway, Ethan Peck, I think, had the same thing. Just like Yastrzemski's grandson probably went to baseball camp, Ethan Peck has been to drama camp. Ethan Peck can dance. I think Connie can dance too, but they're never together at the same time. And in this episode, it had the weird cohesion of everyone was actually together, which is uncanny. Because this episode is what the show is really about. This was an episode about the personal lives of Spock, Connie, what do you call it? Christine, to a lesser extent, Dr. Mabanga, and that's it.
Yeah,
And,
why?
And the other people are there to serve it.
Why are all of these people here? This story only needed 2, maybe 3 people. That triangle, right, between Spock, Christine, and maybe Lon. Maybe Lon had nothing to do in this episode, so cut her out of there. Spock, Christine, the Irishman, and then this medic, the red shirt
There were
medic.
too many
That's it.
people
That's all
on
you
this.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back and find whatever episode of Star Trek we watched of Enterprise where Archer says the captain's always on the away mission. It's a regulation. Because, you know, I noticed that this captain will go on every away mission that he gets paid to be on set for. Sometimes the way that their pay scale and ability to compensate their actors works. I mean, I think they had to tell Anson Mount he's allowed to go look for other work, but he's so damaged because it's been like 6 years since he's done anything thanks to this show. Like Hell on Wheels was so long ago.
Neating up his quarters that are the size of a Home Depot. So, I mean, that takes a long time.
Well, he's also taping Galaxy Chef there. So, I mean,
there is something going on with Ethan Peck's forehead. I think it's the way they cut his eyebrows, whatever. He's got 2 false mustaches on his forehead as eyebrows. And
well, actually, his eyebrows look more like the eyebrows the real Spock had in both the Cage Menagerie and Where No Man Has Gone Before.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, they're really,
it's an excellent segue.
Spiked. Yeah, they're really spiked ones. Yeah.
This is, that brings me to my point, though. What we saw, and we have been seeing for a while here, some really, really bad behavior from the writers and producers of this show. Now, these are not known to be the kind of guys who are going to come back and say, oh, sirs and madams, we were wrong. It's actually not anybody's, you know what, like, we're going to do the right thing now and take accountability. They are going to look to hang the failure of this show on someone in their own cast. One of these people that they've blamed us for having a tough time, right? So these people, their lives, honestly, were so much better before Star Trek. They were up-and-coming stars 6 or 7 years ago. This show has pulled them out of their life every 10th week for a week for 6 or 7 years when Alex Kurtzman compiles enough money to make his Star Trek. Because no one will give him a loan because they're hoping it just doesn't happen. And at this point, I think the cast even hopes it doesn't happen. And this is my theory. And I'm going to let everybody speak to this one because I think it's conspicuous. If you want to address it, you can. Last week, we saw a debasement of Star Trek that did not include Ethan Peck's character. Spock hung back. Now, he was written like shit still. But he did not say anything fucked up. He was not part of the destruction. And the not Spock, but Ethan Peck now was not his. That the Spock character was there, noting the actions of the CGI ghosts. He wasn't judging them, and he seems to be trying to act like Spock. I think Ethan Peck has said, "Oh my God, I'm 38 years old. I was a 31-year-old up-and-comer when this started. I have to think about getting out of dinner theater. I am not." And I think he was like, "I will." Does anyone think he refused to take part in the destruction of Star Trek, and that he might have had a moment of yelling and screaming about how he will not be part of putting down Leonard Nimoy because too many people at like a convention gave him some shit, and maybe he has a heart? Is it possible? Because honestly, this character, it seems like we took, not all the time, but from time to time, it almost seems like real Spock is just with absolute confusion beholding these idiots. He seems to be trying to be Spock within the context of this terrible show. Anyone? Talk to me about what you think you're getting from Ethan Hunt here. Forgetting that the show is horrible.
I think you're right. I mean, he's trying. I think he's horribly directed. He has the ability. I think he could play a good Spock, but like I said, he talks way too fast. He's too human. He could have done a really good job. Like Zachary
in last week's episode,
was a fine Spock when they let him be Spock.
Last week's episode, he had very few lines, and he did deliver them more slowly last week. It's just that the episode was such a horror story. We're not going to be sitting around being like, but did you notice Ethan Peck is getting better? But this week, I'll say, this was the level of performance we got from him in Ghosts of Illyria before the rug was pulled out from under this cast in episode 2 of season 1, where he was like, indeed, Captain. Like, he was trying to be like at this point, some people are thinking about their career after Strange New Worlds because their filming commitment will be over in 6 or 7 months. What they're thinking about now is, I'm going to be on my new show or out there looking for work when this airs. So I don't know. Like I think that maybe some people no longer want to be part of the attacks on the beloved actors from other parts of the franchise. So look how quick we show the special effect there. Whoop, there it is.
Yeah,
And look,
so
it's
just so people don't
this
know
quarry.
how this happened, they break every single rule of archaeology, and they have these 2 reflecting dishes. And so the Enterprise shoots down this energy beam all the way from space. It hits these 2 tiny little reflecting dishes, and it vaporizes exactly perfectly all of the rock around that scene. So that image that you get is I guess futuristic archaeology at work that's magic and perfect. Would have been real rough if they had just used a little bit too much power coming out of the Enterprise.
It's a good
right?
thing they had it dialed in perfectly.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, in the old school days, they actually had to beam down a phaser bank from the Enterprise down to the ground, if you recall.
No, it's just a good thing that they got a strong whammon on there.
Well, yeah, but it was an actual Wyman that did it back in the cage. Recall?
No. She's got to direct
Nah,
people to do it.
She was,
Oh,
she
well,
was,
smartest
she
one
was
there.
on the
Oh, I
planet,
see,
right?
yeah.
Wasn't number 1 on the planet in the cage?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was. She
Okay, yeah.
ordered them.
Was she on the planet when they at the
Yeah,
towards
they had
the middle
that,
and
that
the end of the
huge-
episode?
They had that huge device that directed the
It was a phaser
energy.
bank.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
a portable phaser bank that they
Right.
brought down to shear off the top of the cliff.
Yep.
So the great part in this scene is to get into this building. Christine, because we can't call her nurse.
She had to use hand sanitizer.
Yeah,
She had to go
so
use the contactless hand sanitizer dispenser. It was the stupidest shit I've ever
she
seen.
knows how to get in. She knows how to get in there without any research or prompting. She actually
She does what gets the
she,
guy's eyes taken away from him later. She sticks her face
Well,
right into alien
she
tech.
puts her she gets hit by a long black prick.
Well, yeah. Or
And
I
she
thought
can,
it was black
you know?
liquid spraying onto her hands.
No, it was a long black prick.
It's a BBC, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It was
you know what?
just a
It
tip.
looks
It was
looks
just a
nice.
tip, don't worry.
It looks nice, although the colors
Yeah,
are kind of
one-
washed out. I don't like the color washed out.
I like I said, it was just a tip. Don't worry. It wasn't that deep. It did.
Right.
It did. Like I think, like JT said, it did make her bleed.
Yeah, but with a BBC, the tip is a lot longer than you might think.
You know how hard it was to make this video? You're not allowed to show blood. Once this character was bloodied, they left him bloody the entire episode. Their medical care
Oh,
is so
yeah.
much worse than ours.
Yeah, but you know what? The CGI or makeup effects that they used for that wasn't that good because you could actually see his eyes through it.
Yeah, all they did
I
was
mean,
use
like
baseball
actors,
eye
not-
black. They honestly used baseball eye black, and I don't think he even had black contact lenses. They just told him to squint.
He was in blackface.
He was. He was. We
Ouch.
took a black guy and we actually put him in blackface on top of being black. Honestly, that was how they got that effect.
Oh, here
So
we
this
go.
this,
You gotta
this
love
piece of
this.
shit's coming next year. Yeah, I can't wait for
Um,
this. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, so after they get in there, I just hated everything about this. You brought up a good point, Admiral, earlier. Uhura just knows alien languages now. There is no
Oh, yeah.
universal translator. She just
Hold on
Yeah,
a second. Let's see
guesses
if I have the line
what
in here.
this guy says.
Get back to us.
No, please, don't be one of those women. This is why I don't do this.
Oh, me? No.
This is Alex Kurtzman dialogue, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we can catch a little bit of
Oh,
it.
you're gonna be one of those kind of women? Oh.
Alex and the interrupting each other and finishing each other's sentences. Everyone knows what everyone else is thinking. It's almost as though they read a script.
No, please, don't be one of those women. This is why I don't do this.
Oh, me? No.
Why are
This was the worst delivered line of the entire time that I've been watching this show. Sirs, madams, this was the worst delivered line ever.
I like
Oh,
how
boy.
Spock in
Who
that
seemed
picture
to-
you just had up, he has the bigger chest in the.
don't be one of those women.
I was gonna say Spock's got some pretty good man boobs.
Yeah, look at
Listen,
Oh
Look
my
at that.
God. What the?
listen to this delivery.
Why are we always so
Those are
quiet
bigger than
when we
mine.
talk?
What is she? What
We're
kind
not
of
supposed to be
edge?
objectifying her, gentlemen.
What kind of edge talk is that, though? Listen to her lines in the turbo lift to Spock when she says whatever it is she says to him is so fucking dumb. It is so fucking dumb. And this is what, by the way, if you could see a little more,
Do you
like
have
she is
oppressive
really looking
British
heavy.
subtitles?
No, I have her actual voice. Here we go. Trying
Oh,
to sound
okay.
she sounds so Australian here.
They are. We always so quiet when we need to talk.
Alex Kurtzman, your dialogue fucking sucks. Your dialogue fucking sucks. Your fucking director is a piece of shit as far as his talent level goes. He sucks. Who talks like that? This sounds like the world did not fucking come to an end in your second year of college. Everyone doesn't need to have the same black leather jacket that you wore. We don't need to hear pop songs in every episode. Ah, thank you. Yeah, no, Red's over me. Deep hat in the fight. Oh, God.
Wes Cagel's
Also,
ready
keep
there with the
going.
pat emojis. Nice.
All right, guys, you're going to have to go watch the video essay if you want to see any more. It's going to drop tomorrow around 2 p.m. because that's when Grok says I should drop things. I now run everything by Grok, including how many times to shake when I pee. There's a line that shouldn't be crossed. 3 times is fine. If you start to enjoy it, though, obviously there are other implications. Now, I watched this show about 5 times because I had to, and then I made a video essay of it, and I gotta be honest, they took so long to make any points whatsoever that those points were lost to me, and I was unable to assemble coherent bullet points of what happened. This was, again, the South Park storytelling nightmare. This happened, so then this happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened, then there was no therefores, and then this, and because ofs in there at all. This was just a straight line. It was like, this guy was too incompetent to go out on away missions. He seemed like he was a nice enough guy and he liked his job on the ship. He was the only person we've ever seen saying that. So we were happy to have him go on the away mission, I guess. But we know he's going to be fridged because we only met him last week for 1 second. To have him be this week's point of view character and give his job without giving his name, Alex Kurtzman finally discovered the captain's log as a way of giving exposition without having... Last year, he would have had that guy walk up to Mabenga and be like, I am the junior medical assistant, sir.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
But it's not fast enough. It's not enough growth fast enough. Don't get me wrong. He's still like, his ideas are even worse. It's just like he's finally found, he's discovered that there's a captain's log. It's not going to make anything any better, but he's discovered a way for the characters to give their backstory without walking into the room and saying it to each other, which is what he was just married to for the longest time. Guys, do me a favor and hit those like and follows. That's all I ask of you. I've got to get at least 30 likes on this stream to get my point across, or the people from Paramount will send a deletion man to my home. The headquarters is only 2 miles away. I posted, how did you guys like the picture? I went and I gave my strongly worded letter. I did what I said I would do. I went to the Paramount headquarters and I gave them my strongly worded letter. And I bought the receipts, guys. I showed the picture. I went and I bought a very extremely strongly worded letter, and I bought it to the headquarters of the Paramount Corporation. Here it is in New York City on 43rd Street. I went in and I spoke to the secretary.
We're not.
I went in.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry, I clicked it and
we double clicked it.
There we are.
Here we are. I was at the Paramount Corporation headquarters in New York City, where I bought a strongly worded letter saying that Alex Kurtzman needs to be replaced by myself as the lead developer of Star Trek, and that the show needs to be rebooted, called Star Trek: The Admiral Teague Adventure Hour. But that's neither here nor there. They were very nice to me. They gave me coffee, and as you can see, it's beautiful, like vaudeville era. Like look at that. That's from like 1890.
Nice.
Yeah, it's purple too. Hopefully New Paramount paints it back blue. It is right now they messed it up. It's purple. It did that was a little bit bad, but yeah, I bought our strongly worded letter, guys. Don't worry. Your complaints were heard by the people at Power. They absolutely said that they're going to get rid of Mr. Kurtzman for me. And
Oh,
if
good.
you want,
Good.
there's one more view of it. Look at that. There's the street where the headquarters of the Paramount Corporation are. And I guess they do their premieres there, maybe? It would make sense,
Possibly.
right? Beautiful part of
Possibly.
Midtown Manhattan. So anyway, we tried to get around talking about it. Our point of view character, who is designed to be Fridge, goes down to the planet. And sirs and madams, this guy is one of the dumbest people we have ever seen on any episode of Star Trek of any kind anywhere.
He's a tourist more than a research scientist.
It's time for another review. He is absolutely a tourist. Let's see if we can get the video of him in here. By the way, like and follow if you haven't. You like
That
to
is
have
not
Dr.
the correct
Bashir's
one.
uncle in there? Hey, who's that handsome guy? It looks like Admiral Teague. I've gone with the Dave Cullen thing. I'm like, why should I have to be on camera? We saw her there for a moment, man. Her figure is just the worst. Walking around that hallway, you think would have helped it out. And those shoulder pads. What is with Kurtzman? It's like, I had the coolest jacket that had shoulder pads on it when I was in college. I had the special CD. The Best of the Specials is my favorite CD. Guns of Navarone is one of my favorite songs of all time. What is with this guy?
I don't know. The weird thing is when they bring the young guy that's going to get fridged, when he gets into that turbo lift with Spock and Christine, he doesn't say sir, or sir, ma'am.
He goes, okay, crewmates.
Oh, crewmates. Like
That's part of the
what
review.
What the?
Well, that's just one step removed from saying comrade. And
Well,
that's what those folks,
so-
yeah.
Yeah. That is a good point. But
That
it
may
just-
have been part of why they had him say such a stupid thing.
It's so far removed from actual Star Trek now. How many episodes have we seen a third person walk into a turbo lift when there's two people already in there? I mean, that is probably done 100 times by now, and they still can't do that part right. They still cannot get that right. All of their dialogue is so familial and casual that it's stupid that they even bother wearing uniforms at this point. This is not a military organization. It's not even a government organization. It's just a bunch of like weirdos on a ship together.
Yeah, why do they go in? Here's the moment. This is when like DEI hire
And he says,
fucking blinds himself. Like a fucking idiot.
when he lifts it up.
And by the way, we have these symbols that are supposed to be like Leon just says these are Chinese, and she can read them. But the thing is, the thing is like this temple or whatever, they say it's a temple, and then someone says or a lab, and then someone else says or a jail, which means of course in Alex Kurtzman's mind it's all three. It's obviously it's all three. Anyone have any? Is it a temple? A
Even though
lab,
those
or a
words are all
jail?
completely different with different meanings.
Well, they don't care about what actually the things mean. It just looks good to them. So
But they all know everything about this whole place that they're supposed to be exploring already, so it doesn't even matter what they say because the next thing is just going to happen. Then the next thing will happen.
These
then the
people are
next thing will
tactical
happen.
fucking morons. They are down there for some reason. They bring Starfleet PR with them to the planet.
They bring Joker with them. They bring Joker with them.
Are you just like far from the mic,
Wearing
Sean, or are you a
the
little too
pieces.
low?
Oh, no, I
Guys,
was
is Sean
leaning
too
back,
low?
Sorry.
Oh, okay. I got you there, huh?
Yeah.
But they do for some reason. And by the way, this show, the most cynical show in the world, who do they present as heroic and good? Beto, the journalist. Gee, I wonder why his name is Beto.
He does kind of look like Beto O'Rourke, doesn't he?
oh god,
He looks like Beta O'Rourke.
Whose real name is William Francis O'Rourke, by the way.
and don't call me Francis.
What is Beto even short for? I'm Spanish and like no one bothered telling me that one.
It's just a nickname. It's just a nickname.
Yeah, he
Because
chose
your
it
name-
because it's supposed to be Roberto. What can I do?
Oh, okay. That's guys. I'm going to identify as Latino for the rest of the show, so you have to call me Don Teague. What do you call it? So hey, it's Dad Man. Hello, Ruby Rod. You know what? We haven't gotten the Ruby Rod yet, but they're probably in this
Generalissimo Teague. That's what I'll call you.
Santa Ana Teague.
Look, guys, it's the backstory for Scent of a Woman.
No.
Christine. Oh,
No.
look at this, guys. We finally
made
found the
this-
shot of
this
Christine
is
where Christine's hands aren't crossed in front of her.
The admin
And
don't,
by the
don't
way,
go
this is-
anywhere. We've got a
This
great.
is what I
great
said
spot
it
coming up.
is. This is exactly what I said it is. Look behind Christine. This is not a quarry, guys. This is a graveyard for poorly behaved concrete and asphalt that hasn't done the right thing. This asphalt lived a terrible life. It could have been the road to riches, but instead it was the road to ruin. So it ends up here in an episode of Star Trek. That's what happens when you're bad concrete. Now you notice that also that they have segregated the concrete and the asphalt. They will not mix the black asphalt with the white concrete. Now that's on them. It shows what kind of people they are. Even their quarry shows their agenda. Anyway, so here we have Christine, who is a medical person leading a scientific mission. Now here we go. The backstory for fucking Scent of a Woman. I'm going to play with a hand grenade. Now we find out that it's not a hand grenade. It is not a MacGuffin either. It is a plot device that gets explained. Inside this thing is an unclean, evil fucking spirit
That the writer from Supernatural wrote in. Yes.
This thing's going to blow up in his hands, and the thing is going to shoot right into his eyes. By the way, Christine just did the same thing at the door.
She
So
did.
a lot of for me, not for these stuff going on.
You skipped the long black prick.
I did skip the long black prick. I'll have time to add it back in tomorrow.
You know, if they were gonna do some kind of a evil spirit infecting somebody, they could have done a tie-in and made it Armis at least, you know, or something like that.
You know, when they were going to pretend that what they were reading was Chinese, Chinese exists on our planet. They couldn't have gotten just like a Chinese menu and copied some of the words. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? This is supposed to be Chinese, people.
The
This
other
is
thing
their
is,
version of 21st
it's-
century Chinese.
like they're in an escape room and they're just opening everything to find their clues to figure out how to get back out again.
It's the safe space room.
I got a raging clue.
Thank you for telling everyone to do it, Susan. You know what? So yeah, this is like all these different plot devices, and we end up having to.
Oh,
this
there it
is.
is. There it
you
is.
go. Private eyes. You know what? This guy, like, he so had it coming, but the thing is, it was like it was unfair because we saw all the female characters doing just as dumb shit. But I felt that this was almost a punking sort of laugh, like, ha ha, look how dumb he was in space, sort of thing. It wasn't any, the closest thing to this, and the feeling of it was different, was, remember in Enterprise when they beamed the guy up in the windstorm and he had the leaves and sticks stuck in his body?
Yeah.
Like, and they felt bad for him, and it was presented as like, you know, space is dangerous. This was presented as like, don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Look what stupid did. Well, women can be stupid and they'll get away with it. Don't worry about that. But don't be a man and be stupid. He did not have that estrogen to protect him. And here comes
you can't go
Mabanga.
to a WNBA game and play alien whack-a-mole.
By the way, I know that Ancient Mount has no right to say anything, but this is military.
With a green hammer.
Anything would be better than this.
So
Here we go,
he
though.
gets beamed up right away, screaming, "My eye!"
They beam him right to sick bay. Yeah, and Christine doesn't give him any sedative, even though she's there and she's a nurse. And he doesn't use his own sedatives, even though he's there and he's a nurse.
No, he does.
I
he
think
does
I
in a
would know
minute
what it was
here.
doing.
He knocks him out. But
No,
you know,
Mabanga gives it to him. What I'm saying is he got hurt in front of Christine, who didn't help him.
Oh, right.
Go ahead, Sean.
shoot, I forget. Oh, okay. So they beam this guy up, and maybe I just tuned out or something. But very shortly after this, they're talking about we're gonna starve down here. Like, couldn't they just beam him some food?
A hamburger,
Down?
right?
Yeah, like just beam some food down.
Send it down by shuttle, anything. They can see the ship. We see the
What,
ship from the
it's
surface
not
of the
like they
planet
don't
in this
have
one.
MREs. What, they don't bring snacks with them?
Well, didn't they
I'm
say
sure
that they weren't
Chris-
able to beam out or beam in anything? It was blocking it.
They probably
They have a shuttlecraft. You know,
Except for the
Jez
fact that
Bush.
he was able to be beamed out.
Yeah, right.
Pike
Jez.
didn't care. Like, even in the briefing, Pike, but like they were saying, Pike did the whole shoulder shrug. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
He is
did-
always like that in episodes that don't have him prominently featured.
Yeah.
He's the most uncaring delegator. By the way, if I'm this guy's commanding officer, I'm sitting him down and talking about looking fucking unmilitary.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well,
Fuck you, fuck your individuality. Mabanga has an ethnic look too. He still looks military enough. It's like I'll let Mabanga run around because he's a doctor. You're a nurse. You want you
you
look like a goddamn octopus.
Just put up a really good recommendation for everybody. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like usually we have to disavow advice or say we're not experts, but
In
as
this
having still being alive and breathing, I would say don't pick up hand grenades for the love of God.
No.
Hey, Outlaw Bill, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you, Outlaw Bill.
Hey,
Outlaw Bill, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so at any rate, I don't know why they felt it was so important to show this guy in pain. And then what we find out is Mabanga's fond of him. And so this is how much doctoring Mabanga's good for. He puts on the device from fucking from Clockwork Orange onto the guy's eyes, and they're gonna grow, and he plugs it in. That's as much of a doctor as he can be. Oh wow,
Can you go back to
Krimlon,
that?
5
Can you
new
go back
members.
to the VR thing shade they put on him.
First, we have to watch him blow his eyes apart again. This
There's
is
their
so
escape
dumb.
room props.
I love that
And you
cheap
said a
effect.
boom,
It's so
chicka
cool.
boom.
Look at the eyes glowing. Okay, so here it is. Now watch this. They're going to put this visor VR headset on him. Now I'm not a doctor.
I think they
But-
3D printed some garbage. It just doesn't even
right
look
here,
real.
Oh, wait for him to turn it on there.
I didn't show it
Oh,
getting
okay,
turned
now-
on.
Okay. Well, I'm not a doctor, but it seems to me that if someone is potentially blinded, the last thing you want to put over their eyes is a bright light, which this thing.
Oh, yeah, it's very counterintuitive. Somebody's wife bought it to get rid of wrinkles, and it just didn't work, so they bought it to the set. And what they did was they just like they turned it on, and then it's like, my eyeballs should be growing back, but they're not, are they, Doc? No, they're not. I don't know why.
regenerating.
My favorite line in this entire episode was, I don't know how to tell you this. There's only one way for me to put it. Your brain is dead. But it's not. I'm alive. I don't know why.
That's what
They
Kirk's
invoke
writing
Spock's
staff
brain.
said.
Oh,
That's
and
what his writing
Admiral,
staff
welcome to the new members to the channel.
Yes.
The winners
Oh,
of
yeah,
Krimlon's
Krimlon.
gift are Bubba
Krimlon has been quite generous. Krimlon, I just wanted to highlight that one. Thank you so much. While I get back to the chat where we have Bubba Doom and Carla Burton. Hello, Carla. And we have John the Beagle Dad, Kimberly Ann Hart. Welcome to the club, Kimberly Ann Hart. Jason Love and Dad Man, I believe, got one. I believe but there would be arrests.
It doesn't
Are
look
you
like
talking
Dad Man.
about the Dad Man did not get one? Well, Dad Man, it'll be all right, Dad Man. I'll send you the video for the members. You can watch it at home. I like Dad Man. But thank you everybody for being here. We are like this is not really what I would call a review, because a review would assume that the show had a chance or was good. This show, like, it had a chance season 1. I don't want to sound overly pessimistic about this one. Like, they were trying. The cast was absolutely committed to trying in season 1, but the stories were dumb, and the end of season 1 was really fucking terrible, and there was stupidity marbled through. Season 2 took a really long time to be released, and when it came out, it's not like you could say it fell off a cliff. It was falling apart in the middle of season 1, but in season 2, like, it reached terminal velocity, And then this season has proven that it can go faster than the speed of sound. It's now broken the sound barrier in the free fall. There is no canyon deep enough on this planet. We would have to throw it off that canyon in Mars for it to gain more speed.
And in 3 seasons of Strange New Woke, they have not accomplished a single thing that even the first season of TOS did. They barely broken the barrier of the number of episodes that TOS did.
No, they haven't even done that.
Well,
TOS season 1 had 29 episodes, and they won't hit 29 until episode 2 of season 4.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
But then they'll have 12 left. What will that bring their
No,
total
next
to?
season's only 6 episodes.
So season 4 was cut in half. It's 6 and 4,
Yes.
and that's that's just Kurtzman kicking the can. He sold it to him, and he just changed the release schedule and changed the name of what it was, and hopes that we forget the first half of the season because he can never match shit up. Once again, we had a we had a what they wanted us to remember version of the beginning of the show. It was really just what everyone's loving the Sydney Sweeney emoji. What can I tell you?
Well,
We
yeah.
all love
I mean-
Sydney too. She had her week. By the way, 3 years ago, they called me gay because they said if you can't objectify and watch Sydney Sweeney you must be gay. And I was just like, wait a minute, that's aimed at me because I showed her from being in the Rolling Stones video the first time she popped up, to which I say, thank you, Mick and Keith.
Was
And,
the first time we popped up.
No, I mean, I think the reason she's very controversial is because she was on The Handmaid's Tale. And
Let's
so
get
that
that
she's
shit outta
expected to
here.
have a Handmaid's
off the
Tale.
screen, please.
This what they did to us last week. RRTNZ has
RRTNZ.
arrived.
Yes.
RRTNZ, hello. RRTNZ says, and he says there is one legitimately good episode in all SNW, season 1, Memento Mori, which has actual tension, suspense, and well-paced action. The rest of the entire series is complete bollocks. I saw some of Memento Mori, but isn't some of that the one where they walk on the saucer section? I watched all of season 1 2 different times in like a one-day watch-a-thon. But there were a couple of season 1 episodes that, like, they had some potential. They weren't terrible. The performances weren't bad. And then all of a sudden, they would just take like a left turn into like convenient and stupid and just out of their minds. This guy I thought was going to be the planet's version of Rook. And they say to him, oh, your species has like unique vocal range, to which he says nothing.
Yep.
Do we ever hear this character's voice?
We do when he gets in here and he sounds exactly like the aliens from what was it? Alien Prometheus.
Alien Mind?
Those big guys at the end of Prometheus.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they sound like. The special effect was, if not directly lifted,
The
very similar.
They used the same
engineers.
one.
Yes.
By the
Yep,
way,
those guys.
thank you very much, RRTNZ, for the generous New Zealand super chat. You are the best, my friend. Soon we'll be watching more Miami Vice with the Ice Cream Man of Vengeance. Misguided peace officer Sonny Crockett. So, by the way, on the left there, that femme, that's Beto. That's Beto, Ortegas's brother. Okay? So, Mr. Ortegas's other son. I don't know how to explain it. Poor Melissa Navia plays this weird character who's just like obsessed with wearing men's clothes. This was one episode where wearing men's clothes made sense for the women because they were doing a little bit of mountaineering on paper. But
Well,
Leon's
Admiral
just
Sir,
yes.
to just interrupt you, she did say something,
Ugh.
but it was in her mind, and in 10 years, she'll be mad at you for not remembering what she said. With her mouth.
My ex-girlfriend from like 20 years ago called me up out of nowhere, and it's like that right now. I had like a weird conversation with her. I said, we'll see where that one goes. More on that later. But look at this. This is Beto's little thing here. Like Beto gets in trouble for doing what they did in Prometheus, something that Starfleet doesn't do but should. He sent a probe into the room ahead of himself to make sure it was safe instead of sticking his face into the hand grenade or the tech like they do.
Look at the Steam Deck.
Yeah, he's got that, and so he shows them like what's in the next room in LA, and so they get mad at him for reconnoitering risk-free. He only risked his camera. Now, I didn't include this in the video essay, But at this point, that alien character freaks out for absolutely no reason and runs towards the door where a laser beam burns him down. And then the last crusade part of the episode really kicks in. Look, Carol Kane, when is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? It looks terrible. This is that character getting ready to have himself deleted. And of course, we all remember our amazing Section 31. This might
The
be
Irish Vulcan.
This is Alex Kurtzman's self-insert. And here we have now this is what I liked about this. Yes, I'm gonna go watch it. I'm gonna watch this for you again. Guys,
Little shove
watch
and he flew.
I want you to see how badly done this is, though. He flies. We see the plexiglass flex and break, and he ends up in the other room. The stuntman went through the plexiglass. But when we cut to Mabanga on the floor, he's in front of fully intact plexiglass or vinyl, whatever they throw him into.
Also on that, the second that she picks him up and throws him, the second he hits the glass, the whole ship goes to red alert.
Yeah, for no reason.
And Pike is less than 10 seconds away and knows exactly what happened in the room when this happened.
Is so she's the only person on the ship who can take Mabanga. Now, Mabanga kills people in cold blood for fun and does PEDs to get whacked out before he does it, by the way, people. So watch this. Here we go. Lori's going to throw Mabanga around.
Just showed up.
Boom! He went through that into the other room, and now look where he ends up, though.
Yep.
So physics reverse. The wall rebuilt itself, and he ended up on the in the room he started out in. That I left this character's sad self-deletion out because it was so stupid.
Here's the question: why is she still on the Enterprise? Shouldn't she be at a starbase in a medical facility? I don't get it.
You would think it would be because Una could hug her, because Una could hug you and make any disease go away and probably deflect a phaser. But I don't know. They present, I guess, in this universe, Mabanga's a really good doctor.
She looks like she was out for a jog that day and then showed up filming.
Let's talk about Mabanga and what happened to him.
What the hell is that?
What the hell is even that?
That's what I'm wondering.
I'm guessing it's made of the same material as soda bottles.
Super
It looks
thin,
like she threw them into like super thin
type
vinyl.
1 plastic.
Yeah, it's transparent aluminum.
It's a shower
See
curtain?
the shadow on the right side? You can almost see what's going on in the background.
Yeah, you can see the. You can see. I think that's Lori taking off, or is that the shadow of the camera right there?
That's the key grip.
Yeah,
that's the key grip. By the way, look at Mabanga's office. What has he got there? It looks like he has a fully set up like coffee service. It looks like that. It doesn't look like anything medical at all.
Cold brew. He's got some cold brew.
It reminds me of the. It reminds me of when they get to the medical command part of the base in Aliens.
Yes.
Same
At least
design
that was
language.
realistic.
So look where he ends up, though, after all that.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you can see all of a sudden they're at red alert.
Yeah, how did
because
that
She
happen?
threw him. No, it's like the second he hits the glass, they go to red
It just
alert.
happens to
So-
accentuate the action. I don't know why, and I don't know why it's on the floor either.
They have some kind of like Brinks home security or something in the sick bay. I don't know.
Oh,
So
and
now
this was
what
my
happened-
favorite part here. They put him in the brig, but they put Pike's girlfriend is just fine, even though she was possessed as well.
And,
And
she
and they
wasn't
didn't even-
possessed. I thought she gorned out.
No,
She
she
got
was.
Gorny.
She did.
Was
get
she Gorny?
but-
Oh.
Yeah, she got Gorny.
She was miso Gorny, but the problem was they never explained why she got Gorny and why this guy, the possessed guy, it's like
you
they
just
had a
don't
history
understand the
together.
Gorn sexual.
So she,
Well,
she,
that's
yeah,
true. I know.
she
That's why
flipped.
they're
She
Gorn
just and she just flicked Mabanga too hard.
She
But
she flicked it
why
too
did
hard.
they
Yes.
recognize each other? It's not explained why why the two recognize each other.
Got an
didn't
appetite
explain
for
a lot of
love
stuff.
because me
Plot
so
armor?
corny. So anyway, this is where we get the real representation, as they say on some other shows. The real representation. We're going to empower a black man. What do? We show him as a crazy maniac who has to be put in jail. There's your representation, everybody.
I mean, technically, he didn't do nothing, right?
He didn't do nothing. Nothing.
What was his
She's
name?
the one that threw him. Okay,
he
now
said
he
he
did
comes
We
out
got
and
a
goes,
white guy into the show, guys.
Well, he comes out later and goes, well, what happened was
something. No,
what
in
had
this
happened
scene,
was-
it's actually really hilarious because he's like, "Oh yeah, I was talking to your mom," and the guy's like, "What?" And I was like,
Yeah, this was crazy. He gets him over there
mom
and lures
joke.
him.
I
He
feel
lures
like
him
they
closer
decided
with a
to-
mom joke.
I feel like they decided to copy what was Michael B. Jordan from Black Panther movie with this dude, same haircut and everything.
I think he was supposed to be like Killmonger, yeah.
So until now, he didn't do nothing, but now he did do something. But he gets to walk.
He's
Like,
got the
sir,
magical powers to go
They
through the
just
force field.
raised the price on all that vanilla extract you stole to get drunk on in the alley. It's now grand theft and we can arrest you.
Grand Theft Wakanda.
I
But
like
he
this.
can
We're going to
reach
choke
through
out the white
prison
guy.
force field just right through it because apparently magical spirits from the supernatural universe allow you
These
to
are
do
the
that.
people. I claim that this story is meat shielding behind women and minorities to excuse bad writing.
Wait, Admiral, can you go back to the guy in the brig?
Yeah, I'm gonna get there in a moment. We're gonna see Lori beat up this fucking guy again. She beat
Okay, wait, hold on.
everybody's worst nightmare is to have a fucking fist fight, but Lori just can't get enough. She's digging in there, man. I like that. How stupid that was. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, show him in the brig there. You back up like a
The
second.
Emperor here.
Where he's sitting in the brig. You had it.
I fucked up.
Oh, you're way back there now.
It was like 2 seconds before where we showed it.
Yeah, now you're all the way back at the beginning. Also, at the beginning, I thought it was funny when they landed on the planet that they deliberately did a motion blur because I'm pretty sure they did not get rid of the Pelican case branding on all those.
Right,
Pelican
I think there was
cases
like
they
yeah,
had
and the
printed
production
out.
company name stenciled on. Like they had the
Yeah.
There was a lot of real world stuff from the TV industry just in sight being passed off as sci-fi stuff.
Yeah.
They've done that in all kinds of episodes, or all kinds of shows have done that. Well, remember in Enterprise, they had the air filter that they took off of the
They
roof to
did.
get in.
They have been doing this for an entire era. Look, it's like these people, they are very wealthy, and from this, they have kept, in my opinion, most of the money because we don't see it showing up on screen. So until they prove that they somehow wasted it, I think that they fucking stole it. I can make an allegation. It's not slander to say, in my opinion, the best way to explain what happened is the shit got fucking stolen. I think that fucking money got stolen. I also think that these people have no beliefs except the almighty dollar and number one. And that if they thought that there was money to be made in other politics, they would just adopt those other politics. These people are truly freebooting through our society, just vulturing our pop culture like the pop culture locusts they are. We're going to have your black
Right,
man
it's
in
coming
jail
up here.
representation coming up.
Yeah.
You guys just love the black guy in jail. You can't. Did you guys watch Locked Up all
Okay,
the
there it
time?
is.
Was that like your favorite
Okay,
show?
let's add the appropriate sound effect. There it is.
All right. Yes. Now
Ooh,
I've
you in
been turned on
trouble.
what that is. I just want to say, like, we get our black guy, we make him a medical professional, and what do? We put him in fucking jail. I mean, and they're gonna, in the name of representation, I just want to say that they are just doing damage to these communities that they claim to represent. Am I trying to advocate for the black community? I can't. Am I trying to advocate for anything but better Star Trek? No. Can I look at a story and say that we took a black man, we showed him as crazy, we showed that the police had, whatever, authorities had to get involved to calm down this 5150 ongoing in progress. He can't see, and he's a menace. They tried macing him. He can't see. He chokes out a cop. Now he arms himself.
Yeah, I thought he was in there before for white collar crime.
No.
Yeah.
Sir.
It took you guys a second.
No.
You're going to hell. You're going to hell.
We appreciate everyone hanging out. We're getting really great numbers on this. And I think it's because there's a lot more curiosity in the show than there is in watching it. This was a painful view. I had to go through 4 views of this to fucking suss up the facts buried in the boredom and the small talk.
Wait,
and
what
when
are you
these
looking
people
at
have
there?
small talk, it's really small. This is
Commercial.
from last week's episode.
Looks like a
Oh, that's
commercial.
right. Oh, I remember the combo for that shield is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If that's the same as what's on my
My
luggage.
luggage.
That's what an idiot would have on his luggage.
Yes.
This is the much talked about weird dancing scene from last week where both actors rather, can dance, but they're never in the same place at the same time. So they're all doubled really badly for these dancing scenes that don't work. And we only have like a moment here and a moment there where both of them are there. And it's not enough to sell the dancing.
Dadman brings up a great point. Star Wars did the same thing to the guy, but he was a janitor.
By the way, this is Star Trek now. Puppets, show tunes, and fucking dancing. Alex Kurtzman's idea of entertainment is all that extra stuff that happens during the Academy Award presentation, like the interpretive dance in the parking lot. By the way, I wanted credit for that story when it went on Doomcock because I was the one who came up with the term interpretive dance. It said dance numbers. I called it interpretive because there was no other word for
I thought
it.
that's what they really did call it.
I
Okay.
believe that there is something called interpretive dance, but they called it racy dance numbers that will thrill. What I saw was a lot of stuff that counts as professional cheering. They were waving streamers and marching around a lot. It was really
And the
dumb.
singing Klingons, the stage act, right?
Yeah.
Star
Star
here's
Trek
the
on
thing,
Ice is coming soon.
This show has done some good for reverse wokeism by siphoning money away from real causes. They went and hit up. The story is this. Now, we don't have access to their books, and Hollywood does everything very, very private and confidentially, sirs and madams. But allegedly, what they did was to please this Democratic base and get the money to make their season. They had to have Stacey Abrams appear as president of Earth. I'm imagining it's shit like seriously, hello, Joss Whedon? Yes! It's like, you're a very insane and disturbed man. Would you like to buy a production credit on Star Trek Strange New World so that people will think that you don't have a problem with women? Fuck you! I do have a problem! Click.
The Star Trek president of Earth was a party to a real-life popular free and fair election, and then she later denied the results.
She was not a good candidate, and the president and the president and the guy who won that election don't agree, and people may not agree with him. And I don't want to get too deep into it, but whether you believe it or not, I would say this: it would seem, by most measures, we're not going to go down a rabbit hole here. I just want to say, by most measures, it would seem the right person won that election because he proved his timber by standing up to the president. Be he right or wrong, he believed what he was saying, and he stood his ground, and that means that as far as that state went, it worked out pretty well. But what were they going to do? There was someone who did say that we're not going to use the term again, but yeah, they denied. They said the popularity contest didn't work out the way that it really did. And it turns out that like they had been screwing down the ways to fuck around in that election for so long that they were able to very easily prove, no, this is fair. And then when it didn't work out the other way, they were just as whatever else it is, they believe in the system that they put in place there.
And
Is
then
there a
she
chance that
acted.
they've
She
campaigned
pretended
on election
with
fraud for
her
so long,
horrible
so hard?
Yeah, with her horrible acting skills from Star Trek, she pretended to be the governor for 4 years too. Didn't
That
work
was
out.
ridiculous. But I'm just gonna say,
So how about
when
that Star
you
Trek?
start getting into the real world that deeply, yeah. Like, how about that Star Trek? We're going to use it as a grievance pulpit for angry politicians.
Yep.
I mean, what next? Next week, Maxine Waters as the president of a very advanced and very Code of Honor Part 2. Maxine Waters back to the planet.
No,
Who would you like
she's
to cosplay as?
She's the first chairman of PACLED 6.
Oh, God.
How could we
Backshot
forget
6?
the singing Klingons?
All I heard was Backshot 6.
Wait a minute. I thought Pakled 6 was destroyed. And this is Pakled 5.
Can I finish,
You
please?
were looking for Pac-Led 6.
Let Sean finish. Somewhere. Backshot 6.
No, you said Pac-Led, so
Can I
I
finish,
thought,
please?
I thought he said Backshot.
So anyway, this is Alex Kurtzman's idea of Star Trek. Alex Kurtzman's idea of Star Trek is singing, dancing, and fucking show tunes. This is where Spock, how dumb are you? You didn't notice there's another person in a transporter pad? And Roger Corby is neither handsome nor ugly. He's just like a non-ugly, non-entity guy. But right here, he just looks like he had to smoke the hugest joint to get with what the fuck they were doing. I don't know if he has a real career too and just didn't know about this show, or they found him in some pub because they let the fucking Grip direct episodes.
Hey, whatever, you know.
This was
So-
fun stuff last week.
Yeah.
Look, it's not a rock quarry. It's concrete disposal.
hey, no, there's Finity's YouTube channel back there.
You're looking too deep into it.
Do you have a thing in your video that gets near the end of the episode where Nadia R37 beams crap into space? I did
don't
want to
really
talk about
bother with
this
the
for how
event.
stupid it is.
I don't really bother with the events of the episode in this video because they didn't
So-
really bother to write a story. But yeah, go ahead.
There was one thing I did want to talk about here because it just showed how shallow and bereft of anything ethical that ever goes on.
JT,
with
as
Kurtzman.
you're saying this, I just want to make a note here. There is still absolutely no evidence of any kind at all, anywhere whatsoever, that the Kurtzman verse phasers have a stun setting. Proceed.
Oh, they don't. So there's a scene at the end for those that did not watch the episode where the woman that we've already seen on screen here gets in a final confrontation, blah, 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 blah. The red-shirted medic gentleman here is trying to hold people at phaser point to get the command codes to the ship so he can take
He
control
can
of the
see
ship.
again now.
Yes, he can see without any eyes, like Deep Horizon, right? So we're looking at this going, okay. So he's got Commodore 3-pack, he's got Nadia R37, and he's got who is it? Spock?
Is it
I think are the
Uhura?
three. Uhura might be all at phaser point, and then Dr. Medalishina comes in, and they're arguing about who's going to phaser this guy out into nothing. And he turns around, red shirt turns around, and what's her name? Commodore 3-pack vaporizes him.
Carol fucking Kane.
Yeah,
Simca
I
from
call her
Taxi.
Dr. 3-pack because
I call her
that's how
Simca
many-
most of the time because that's
that's
what
how
I know
many-
her as.
How many smokes you got to have to be able to communicate that way?
Her cryptic
So-
talk at the end was the dumbest shit ever.
So the magical spirit leaves the red shirt once he gets deleted with the phaser. Okay, and so it's just this ghost from the supernatural writer floating out there, and Scotty Naughty R37 has to catch them all. And so he takes his Pokeball and he captures the spirit. And then instead of like putting it behind a level 10 force field or, putting it in a box, something like that, he beams it with 3 presses on his console and beams it into space, because this thing is so evil and so wrong and so dangerous that he deletes it. He just straight up beams
they don't
it
care
into
about
nowhere.
New Life. Captain
He
Picard would have been like,
vaporized him.
I understand that it murdered a good deal of the crew, but what you've done is destroyed unique life.
Exactly.
I'm afraid that I'm going to have to transfer you to Captain Jellicoe's ship, where
So
you'll
he
be safer
couldn't
and
catch 'em
have a
all.
better time.
So
And
We
work
said
less
the Delta
because there's
shift.
4 shifts.
yeah,
He does
he'll
a
work
very
less because there's
non-
4 shifts.
he does a very non-Star Trek thing, but at least he's trying to save the ship, right? So you can have some controversy over how, wise that choice was. Was that choice
They
correct?
literally put the genie back in the bottle.
Yes.
They blow away the
Mhm.
guy who's been possessed.
And
They
then, and then,
just
and the,
blow him the fuck away. Carol Kane just blows him. She doesn't stun him. No attempt is made. They don't throw him in a hyperbaric chamber. This is just like they're just throwing them at you now. They have a handful of Star Trek episodes, and they're just like it's like imagine an ambidextrous man with a handful of baseballs on either side, just throwing them at you left and right. It's
So
non-stop
good night,
coming
Dad
out,
Man.
just pelting. Good night, Dad Man.
see you, Devin.
They take the entire episode and they just make a mockery of all Star Trek, and at the end the stupidity just gets cranked up through the roof. And what we're doing is we're also combining and mixing and matching as many things that people have seen before to try to buy some legitimacy for this bad Star Trek. So what
Well-
we do is we have him go nuts like we did in the episode with Dr. Pulaski when she was young in TOS with the glowing balls of light. What the fuck was that one called?
Return to it tomorrow.
Yes, with Sargon and like, yes, these forms please me. And like they're doing that. They're doing that mixed with Wolf in the Fold, because they throw the way they throw the thing they throw the genie back into the bottle and it takes possession of their guy and they beam it into
Well, this
space.
is just Kurtzman. He has a list of tropes, and they just get written in every line. The thing
Did you
about
think
this,
Return of the Archons is in there radioactive?
Well, I think wasn't it Return, or am I confusing the one with Landru? The one
That's Landru.
Yeah, that's Archons.
Oh,
I think
that's
it was supposed to be
Archon.
communism in that episode too.
Okay, I know
right?
which one
the
you're
Archon
referring to.
one.
Yeah, with the spheres where they transfer their consciousness back into android bodies, because apparently Apple wasn't effective back then.
Sean had
Yeah.
it. Say it again, Sean.
Yeah, that's Return to Tomorrow.
Return to Tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Return to Tomorrow. Wait a minute. Was it?
Yeah, they go to a 60s lamp shop and there's some pretty hip, cool lamps there. A couple of them are burned out, but like, that's how it goes, Daddy-O. You want a chill lamp for your house? You can get one of these glowing balls, man. So like, they transfer they willingly allow their consciousnesses to be swapped out in that one. But they do the same thing. And then also like they do the Wolf in the Fold thing where when they Pokemon the genie back into the bottle and they throw it into the transporter beam, it just disappears. And they're like, where did you send it? And he can't say something cool like I beamed it into deep space. He goes, no, nowhere. Which means the coordinates to the Enterprise
thrown
are
away.
always it's still stuck in the Heisenberg coupling. I mean, what the fuck does he mean? But
no, it was translated into energy and not retranslated back into mass. But it was such a throwaway line. He's like, "Oh, I
was
just beamed
already
it into
energy.
nowhere," and no one cares. No one
You should have
cares.
beamed
Now,
him onto
No
into the
details.
Klingons' engine room.
It gets even
Beam it
worse,
into
guys.
Corby's brain. He's a fucking android anyway.
It gets even worse, and it speaks to Kurtzman. And where I'm going with this is the very next scene. They're sitting around a table, and they're like, well, "We have to lock this place down for good. We can't let anyone out because these demons are too evil." And then Pike jumps in. The only real time he talks about anything in this whole episode, he
She's
says
not really
this
in it.
line. This line. Good and evil are relative. That's what
Which
he
is
says.
not true.
Which is not true. And the Commodore 3 pack goes on this this rant about, you know, how there is good and there is evil in the world. And I'm like, oh, so if good and evil are relative, in Naughty R37 in the previous scene, the exact previous scene had to delete this life form because it was so evil and dangerous.
I
Shouldn't
I
you
gotta
be
say this.
bringing up
Naughty,
Naughty R37 on charges because he deleted what anyone could say was a good life form?
Naughty
how dare-
R37 is derivative. He is derivative.
It was such a mistake. It really pissed me off when Pike said that about good and evil.
It
They
was
could have had another
stupid.
person say that, but Pike should have been the number one. who
And
gave
Pike
the-
should have
the-
shut them
the
down.
rant.
Yeah.
Pike
No,
should have said
these
what
are
Carol Kane
absolutes.
said.
But
Yeah.
that's something that's political. Yeah. that entire phrase is political to begin with.
Yeah.
That's basically what
guess,
I've been hearing
but-
for the last 5 years from certain.
Well, he's
the
in
commie
he's
parties.
in moral relativism, and I at least would have appreciated if they had gone Nietzschean and said that we should strive to be beyond good and evil. But they didn't even go full Nietzsche here. So
Well, that's
that
probably
is-
because they haven't read Nietzsche, so they wouldn't
Exactly.
know.
Yeah.
True.
If you said
Yes.
Nietzsche, they would say, "No, I like the ones down at the other taco stand."
But you guys understand like just how ridiculously stupid it was when they just made a moral judgment that resulted in the end of a life of this, and then they come back and say, well, it's all relative. But then they have Commodore 3-pack go off on this rant, and it's poor planned, it's poor execution, and it's all 100% Kurtzman. Now, I did want to say I found it very cringe because after Commodore 3-pack makes her know there is good and there is evil in the universe, she looks over at the camera and says, was that good enough, or you do need that again?
She really does do that.
Which
Yeah.
was a Marvel joke, Marvel humor, and they cut away from that to Dr. Medeletionist calling up the family of the deceased to let them know that the red
I
shirt
feel like
is
he trolled them.
best.
I feel like he trolled them when he called them too. I think he was a dick to them. But yeah, this is the deal. Throughout this episode, here and there, we have a drone camera that Beto uses. Beto is Ortega's brother. Ortega's Melissa Navia did not have to be in this episode. I think that people who are now over their contract and stuff have some options. I've noticed that in the next episode, Melissa Navia's terrible hair is not as terrible as it is in this terrible episode. But what they did to her fucking hair, oh my God. I mean, just this poor woman. See, this is from an earlier, better season, but they're still like, they're trapped in college. Everyone has to have the same black leather jacket Alex Kurtzman's parents wouldn't let him wear in college. And here's Bacon Spork, of course, screaming into a pillow. That's the spot that they've decided we were supposed to get. Ethan Peck seems to be rebelling against it a little bit.
Wait, was that
here
War of
comes
the
some
Worlds?
justice.
Yeah. Oh God,
Sean got it.
I'm gonna watch that. I have to see that to see how bad it is. That War of the Worlds.
That second
have
you had
heard a
Ice-T
few
up on the
things.
Why
screen
would
there.
you waste 2 hours of your precious life for that? I mean,
Well, you
this
can
is
do
bad
other
enough.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
probably-
a horrible movie.
mean-
Oh my God, that was a horrible movie.
Oh, you watched it?
Yes.
Oh,
It-
tell
one
you
of the
get a
worst
quick
movies
review of
I have
it?
ever seen my entire life.
Oh God, is it like
All
so
right.
bad it's good, or is it just
No,
that bad?
it's just bad all around. Like it's, I don't even know how to describe how bad it is.
I haven't
Kremlin put
watched
some
it, but
effort
that
into
is
this
the word on the
avatar, so
street.
I think we got to show it off. I thought it was the same one as yesterday, but he's upgraded it.
Yes, it is. It's a very upgraded version, which perfectly
He's-
depicts current
he's
Star
taking
Trek.
It's very controversial,
He's taking
sir.
a Kurtzman in that image.
Yeah, that's
He
that's the only thing that can happen after watching this. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go around the horn and give our final thoughts, and we'll talk about what we're doing, and then we'll say goodbye to our lovely audience as we prepare to get out of here because 2 hour conversation on this is about enough. I don't know if we even brought home the end of it. I think JT really just recapped the entire episode in that roughly 45 seconds, and that was with 2 interruptions that it took him to explain the entire fucking plot.
There's a plot?
There was something of a plot. I would call it vestigial the way that
It looked like a
sometimes a
quarry
person
to
was
me.
born with a tail.
Yes, exactly.
You
Looked like
know,
a
you know how like Jamie Lee Curtis is vestigally good looking because you remember her when she was young and good looking, but she's not.
No.
It vestigally made sense. Yeah, it made sense the way Jamie Curtis is good looking. Jamie Lee Curtis is good looking vestigally, in a very
So,
vestigial
ugly in
way.
the face, ugly in the face and good in the body. Like, is that what you're trying
Even
to say?
her body ain't looking so great no more. She always kind
Well,
of
back in the
had
day,
kind of a
I
tough
mean, there was
face.
True Lies, the True Lies
Yeah,
movie.
and she was older when she hit that movie, but now she's really and she's a Star Trek character. She's the head
crispy
of
for
Section 31. She's the head of Section 31. She could show up in this piece of garbage. So I guess everyone gets to give their thoughts now, and I'll go last. Krimlon, you can begin.
Oh God, we're gonna make me begin this.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I feel like they tried a little bit more this episode than last week's, but I can't really say much more.
Fair. It's
Yeah.
fair to say that too.
Yeah. I didn't know for sure if this was actually a Star Trek episode again. What, you only saw the ship once? The rest kind of had me kind of bouncing around between different movie ideas they stole. I'm gonna say this is probably a F minus, so worse than last week, but still horrible.
It's less worse, so it registers on the radar as existing. That's Krimlon's opinion. It exists.
It exists.
Krimlon will not go any further.
Somewhat
The world's not a better
sci-fi-ish.
place.
Yeah, somewhat sci-fi-ish. Tried to come off as maybe horror. I'm not
They
quite
put
sure.
in a half-assed effort to be somewhat sci-fi, somewhere in the middle there. There's
Yeah,
a moment, moment here and a moment there. There's a little bit of sci-fi. All right. What high and low of the episode? What's the one thing you're gonna remember from this episode, if anything? 23 producers.
Wait, there were producers?
Oh, there's so many producers.
There's over
on every
20
episode.
producers
It
credited.
wasn't even worth me reading the end of the credits on that.
There's well, no, it's in the
I
beginning. It's
remember
during the only good special effects sequence in the show. It's to distract
Yeah.
you from how many producers there are.
Yeah, I mean, oof. There's not much memorable out of this.
Christine had a nice 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, the 5 o'clock shadow. Yes.
On Christine and Leon. Yeah, what the hell happened to them?
Pokemon reference. Yeah, that's memorable, I guess.
I'm always going to remember for the rest of my life the wish fulfillment of a white woman beating the fuck out of a black man.
No,
That's fucking just a dangerous fantasy to fucking put out there, people.
my fantasy is basically how that the white shirt, how he ended up, is kind of how I felt like I should have ended up after watching this.
You just wanted to be shot from behind by an
No, just missing
octogenarian.
eyeballs. I mean, my eyeballs should have just
Oh,
exploded
yeah.
outside my skull. I mean,
At the
it
watch
is
parties
bad.
I bring you to, you won't need eyes to see.
Exactly.
All right, Sean Carter, you're not escaping. Tell me the one thing you'll take away from this episode and give it some kind of a grade.
Okay, well, and I mentioned it earlier. I think that the only little glimmer I saw was that guy's desire to be on an away team. That was it. This gets a Z minus. It's just stupid. At least they're holding up to this. Every scene that I have seen of this series, and I'm going to say literally, and I mean it, it sucks. Every scene has a plot hole, a canon breaking moment, or it's just stupid. Or most of the time, at least two of those things. Every
Doomcock
scene
said it best. They have not strung together like 60 straight seconds of entertainment.
They
even
have
in
not.
this whole time.
They
I
have
think you said
not.
5 minutes, but I will take it further. They have not strung together 60 coherent seconds.
No,
It's never
there has
coherent.
Not been one good scene in this series. Here's the thing I'm going to take away. Now they have pissed on Pike's legacy with that comment about good and evil. That was stupid. Like, oh, good and evil are relevant. No.
Well-
no, you're supposed to be a hero and stand
Nah,
for the virtue of good, and you just like, yeah. But you know what? That's what these
I'm gonna
writers
s-
believe.
make a-
That's what
I'm going
these
to make a
writers
point
really
about Pike
think.
when you're done.
I think,
on that
yeah,
one.
and I think next episode, Pike's going to be a member of NAMBLA.
Oh God!
Wouldn't
Well,
shock me.
This is at this point. Why not? He's already covered up like 4 murders and 2 fucking different attempts to
Yeah.
fucking overthrow the Federation and ongoing sedition. His crew is a mutinous bunch of scumbags, and the best thing we can do is fucking program, like, take over his control panel and do a controlled warp core implosion. But like this fucking episode was just absolutely terrible. And just what was this but wish fulfillment for like angry white women when we see like a white woman throw a black guy through a fucking wall? I mean, Wes Gagel didn't see the episode. What did you hate the most about it?
The one thing I take away from this episode is thank the Lord that I didn't watch it. And if I give it a grade, it's Voyager minus.
Yeah, you know what? This is
That's
the
a good
Voyager
grade.
is Shakespeare in the park compared to this. I would hold out my finger and I would say to Alex Kurtzman, you are a phony and you are a bigot in my eyes because you took this story where you're saying that you're going to empower people and you're going to change the power dynamic and you're going to show an idealized future. What did you show us but a black guy who fucking armed himself to go do a workplace shooting and fucking end up dead? That's your idea of representation. A jailbird fucking murderer. That's what you did that was your black representation. A jailbird fucking murderer. I mean, just because Nuhura can magically pick up every goddamn language on the face of the fucking earth, and that contagiously spread to everybody in the landing party. This remains the most conveniently written show in the history of television. Sean, am I right?
Oh, it's yep. And then.
All right, Radioactive. Your turn, buddy.
Okay, you want my score first, or do
Yeah, you got to
want-
give it some kind of score, and then you got to tell me one thing
Okay,
you'll
why?
take away.
Oh, I'll give you several takeaways. I'm going to give this maybe a D minus on the Soy Trek scale versus, because we know the cut line for real Star Trek is above what we would even call an A for this series. So this is like maybe a D minus. Why? Well, there's just so many plot holes in this episode. There's just so many plot holes. We don't know why. They give no explanation to speak of as to why this guy gets blinded by the Gorny hand grenade of Antioch, other than it's explosive. We don't even know why he ends up being beamed up into the sick bay. Straight up, it looks like, because there's no transporter there. Then we have the incident where he gets in a fight with Captain Miso Gorny, and that's not explained. We don't know why they're even. It's like the possessed spirits or whatever of these two characters. It's not explained.
I
is not
think the
explained at all.
explanation
He
for her was
probably-
only in the recap. She has that part Gorn DNA now.
But why would that means that the Gorns know of whoever these creatures are? So there's no
I
explanation.
almost radioactive wonder if we had watched whatever 9 seasons or however long Supernatural went on for. I wonder if we watched that, if this episode would make more sense.
Well, it maybe would, but I'd never watched Supernatural because it.
Neither did I.
So and then okay, so here's some other copy paste things that I made mental notes of. Most of you guys referenced Event Horizon, which was reasonable given the way the guy's eyes got burned out. I got that reference, but let me point out a couple other ones. It also references Skyline, if you recall that sci-fi kind of B-grade sci-fi movie from about 15 years ago. It also, to me, the setup of that Tesseract that they're in, that puzzle palace, was indicative of a movie from the early mid 2000s called The Cube. If you've ever seen that movie, okay,
Is
Sci-Fi Channel. Old Sci-Fi
Yeah,
Channel movie.
yeah, it was an old Sci-Fi Channel movie. You could find it on Blu-ray, maybe not Blu. Well, I don't know. You could find it on Blu-ray DVD. I think still, maybe
like
it may be out
three
of
of
print.
those movies.
Yes, there was the Cube, and then the sequel was Hypercube, and then they did a prequel called Cube Zero. Yeah, I have them, so that's how I know about them.
It should have been
Anyway.
cubed.
Yeah, it should have been.
You're muted, Admiral.
So
I
anyway,
was thinking of the
anyway,
movie
those-
The Sphere
those
was the
movies
one I
that
was
they
thinking of.
copied. And then I think I mentioned it to JT, or I mentioned in the review of the show earlier, before we went on air. I said, isn't it odd that the writing on the pedestal or the control panel that they're all around looks like the writing from I can't recall the title.
It
of-
looks like the
It wasn't
title. It looks like
Iraq.
the writing from Paradise Syndrome.
That's yes, it was
Yeah,
Paradise.
the
Syndrome.
obelisk.
That's the
But
episode.
they go out of their way to call it Chinese.
My point is
They
that
just have these
copied-
props and that's it. I mean, what
I
the
don't know.
fuck?
They copied the kind of language. I would like to go back and watch Paradise Syndrome now, because the symbology they used looked exactly the same from my recollection.
It was so
It
close.
did.
Yeah, it looked. I
caught
the
that
thing
too.
is, it's one of the most famous pieces of production art from the show. Is that
So
pyramid?
So, anyways, yeah, there's plenty of copy pasting going on by these guys. So many plot holes in this episode. It just doesn't make any sense, and there's no thorough explanation. And then, yeah, as you guys pointed out, then they decide at the end, well, let's throw in some moral relativism to boot, which also didn't have any real connection to the whatever theme they were trying to create with this episode. I don't know what they did. They just kind of threw some stuff on a dartboard and said, okay, they went through their little bingo card and just randomly generated some stuff and threw it all together. And then I guess they went back to nose candy or something. Who knows?
Yeah, Bolivian marching powder or something. You know what? If only they had some. It seems like it was a lack of Bolivian marching powder. It
Maybe
was like
that's what it is.
soy milk and like an exactly long enough walk to
Like
get your
maybe
steps
like
in
powdered
using your
soy milk.
smartwatch. Yeah.
Maybe they were doing powdered soy milk.
By the way, I did an interesting research. Now, I asked AI to do it for me, so it could still be wrong. I was unable to find any arrests or convictions or cross affiliation with MCU and Disney from these writers. Only Alex Kurtzman has the connection through JJ. There's not as many direct JJ Abrams connections as you'd think, but that's because JJ's been out of it for a while, and I think we're all happy to say that the JJ Abrams show Duster got dumped after one season. That was the most offensive and difficult to watch first 6 minutes of any TV show I've ever seen, and I just turned it off. I wish I could just turn this off. Go ahead, Radioactive.
Let me add one other little key point.
Go for it.
And that is, I think what we're doing here, as I mentioned last week, why do we want to continue watching this crap? It's only to really document all the atrocities they're committing, so that when finally somebody decides to host Star Trek Nuremberg, maybe DC and Film Threat and a few other channels get together and do this, we'll have all the plot holes and disconnects and discontinuities and atrocities they committed, like last week. We'll have it all lined up.
Last week was blatant character assassination of Gene Roddenberry.
That's
and
right.
just absolutely the tantrum of a failed
And
writer in
why
his
we need
last
Star Trek
moments.
Nuremberg. This is
You
why
know
we
what?
need Star Trek Nuremberg.
We do need, listen, I have said this in world, in our channel lore, Admiral Teague has written a very controversial book called Restoration and Reckoning on the Final Frontier, and what I would do if there was a real Final Frontier. And you know what? Like, that's the manifesto of the Admiral Teague, revolution. And when we say we want Star Trek back, there are a couple of watchwords. One of them is, what was ours before will be ours again. This is the last Coom show. This is the last Coom show. Star Trek Academy has failed to materialize and is being bought by CBS so they can burn it, in my opinion. If they show it, it's to their great detriment. I think he is making stuff that is so bad that they are buying it to keep him from being able to resell it, because that is something he would be allowed to do. I also think that Alex Kurtzman is absolutely finished in Hollywood because he insulted too many people, but what do I know? I do think that going after your own and royalty and beloved actors and beloved franchises and showing a destructive influence for 8 or 9 years, if he was just giving a middle finger and showing his ass to the world at the same time. He thought he was being defiant. He just looked foolish with last week's episode. This week's episode was real dumb. I give it a fucking D- on their scale, because there was an attempt to have a story in there, but it was too supernatural and too far out and too fucking occultish to be any good, and their props sucked. And now the man who is basically the star of this show, who I can't wait to hear from. I don't really control him. I just unleash him and we run away like that kaiju in the Superman movie. Here he is. JT, what did you think about the show? Give it a grade, and what did you take away from it?
The one good thing that I'll remember for a while is the music, the piano music that doesn't really fit with the entire episode, but hey, it was in tune and competently done. So there you go, folks. That's the only positive thing about this show. Now on for the rest of it, I find that their ability to actually frame people correctly so you can see their entire face has improved, but the rest of the cinematography is garbage and awful. I find the sets to be lazy CGI, rehashed garbage that I would expect from maybe a public access channel. They're clearly not spending any money whatsoever. You'll notice that everything on the ship is either on the bridge, in Captain Pike's quarters, or in the sick bay, because those are the only sets after 3 seasons that they've actually been able to afford, which are all respectable Discovery sets, aren't they?
The sick bay was like a shower stall that they bought and just threw together.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, it was. I'm sorry, not the sick bay. The brig was like a shower stall that they just threw together. JT, terrible stuff. Let me tell you. Now, what will you remember about this? What will you take away?
I will remember how horribly awful it is when you take people who don't have any writing credits or from Supernatural and you try to combine them with the idiocy and stupidity of Alex Kurtzman, and take his standard play of explain and roll a natural D20 D&D die on every single...
By the world's most nervous person.
Yes, by the world. Good point. The world's most nervous person that you can actually.
You would think after rolling D20s all your life in this universe, because it's that or die. There's never a middle way out. Like an 18 won't lose you a finger or something. And like it's like a 20 or you're dead. You've been rolling 20s. Why would you be afraid anymore?
Yes,
it looks like the symbols inside the pyramid were slightly different than the ones outside.
They're slightly different, but it's easier to see them in this image. But this is kind of similar to the rehash stuff that they were using. The other thing that I will remember, besides just the waste of 50 minutes of this happens and this happens and this happens, is how it made me remember Event Horizon and how much better of a show that, or how much better of a movie than this is a show.
I can't believe they're rebooting it.
Oh, well, let's not go there.
The only point to reboot it is to make a sequel. So you're making the movie just to make a sequel.
Yeah.
Which means that movie will be trash.
The final thing that I remember about this is the moral relativism and just how tone deaf this whole show and Alex Kurtzman's productions are. You go from deleting an evil nemesis, which may have gone too far in a few places, to the very next 10 seconds later saying that there is no such thing as good and evil. It's just relative from a certain
I don't know
point of
why
view.
they needed to say that. He, you know what? Honestly,
it was to destroy Pike. It was to destroy Pike. That's what it was.
Treasonous Una and Pike saying that. You know what? At that moment, they're lucky they were alone, because they would have destroyed every other character. At that moment, she already has a big enough mouth. Fucking Captain, I'm going to ask you to stand down, sir. What are you saying, Ortegas? Captain, on behalf of the crew, I hereby relieve you of command for that statement that is inhumane and it shows dereliction of duty. That was an immoral statement.
The
You
Federation
broke your
stand for.
You just disgraced your Starfleet captain's oath right in front of us, sir. Sir, you need to go to the brig, sir. Sir, if you leave now, you can go to your quarters.
The Starfleet and the Federation are supposed to be so upstanding in such Boy Scouts that by the time you get to DS9, they are shocked and appalled that something like Section 31 would make something to attack the founders in that way, because they're not about doing this. Or when Captain Picard lets the board go,
though, doesn't it?
there are morals and ethics in right and wrong, and that's why they can't tell a story. It's not because there aren't any new ideas or anything worth telling. It's because they don't know that there is a good and an evil, and to write a story, you have to have that.
Doesn't anyone see that this is wrong?
Exactly.
Sorry.
Exactly. No.
Why would you
I had
show me
to.
that? Why would you show me Tuvix? Why?
Doesn't anyone see that this is wrong?
You do that.
Kind of looks like the new Predator, doesn't he?
Angry gerbil head.
This reminds so they do this, then they use Marvel jokes, then they have a senior officer delivering.
Well, they try at Marvel humor and they totally miss.
It totally fails 100%. So they go from moral relativism to Marvel joke to my condolences on the loss of your family member, and that's the end of the episode. How tone deaf do you have to fucking be?
M'Benga didn't even put on his dress uniform to do it.
No, he didn't. You're 100% right on that, Teague. How tone deaf?
When I have to inform a member of the fleet that they've lost, a member of the fleet's family that they've been lost, I put on my dress uniform.
You damn well should.
Well,
if you're going to be on
here's the
video,
reason why. Here's the reason why: because they have no life experience outside of the all the college parties they may have
That
attended.
they nepoed their way into TV out of college. Yes, this show is such arrested. This shows their age. This shows exactly when they went to college. Sean is going to be able to verify it. Radioactive too. Guys, these guys are just about our age and went to college at the exact same time, didn't they?
Some of them, but not
Some
the
of them.
writers.
Not
the writers.
Well,
per se,
that the
but-
new writers are younger, but remember what used to happen with Star Trek when it was a good show was, in a functioning writers environment, was people would write the show. Gene Roddenberry would get the script, and then he would Star Trek it up and finish the story and give it back to them. In this, people write a story and then they cringe in horror while Alex Kurtzman just puts his agenda in there, and he's like, "I just look for places to insert the queerness," or whatever it is that he does.
He writes it, and he's going to say this, he's going to say that. There's actually a silent writer that I have not mentioned yet, and this person is just a trade writer.
Are they there just trying to coach them how, like, you have to begin your third act at some point?
Yes.
At some point, there has to be a third.
there's
You've been
somebody-
meandering on this planet for too long. You have to have a causal event.
Oh, that's 100% what it is. And when I look at this, I look at everybody that's written something, and I'm trying to bring it up here. You'll see exactly why this is a thing. This last person here, and I'm bringing it up right now. I know I don't want to go too far over here on time, but just as a one last point, if you could share that out for me, please. This Jenny Lumet is only here to pull in Anitra and Davy and the supernatural writing with the stupidity.
Oh, is she a writing
and
assistant with
insults.
those people? Did they hire the assistant to the writer again because they can write that person's stuff?
She's the
They
one
did that with
makes
Starfleet Academy.
His their stupid lines, their stupid dialogue, and their moronic ideas.
It's
and-
the dialogue
and
is fucking retarded
supernatural.
in this.
And they bring her in. They bring her in to help bring it all together. Why? Because she did 10 episodes here, 5 episodes here, and 13 for Clarice. She's been around.
Clarice.
She is the integrator.
This makes me laugh.
I love how Kurtzman goes, I'm going to bring a writer on from the show that utterly failed. Let's bring that
Well,
writer in.
Let's face it, the
silent
concept
person we
was
haven't
fundamentally
talked about yet
failed.
that's doing this.
concept was so flawed that if you were a good writer, you couldn't have written a good episode of Clarice. I also think that Alex Kurtzman, he has done the impossible. It was so hard to make the video essay that I made. Guys, do me a favor. There's 2 video essays. Right now on your screen, there's pinned to the top of the chat, is check out Admiral Teague's video essay. That one is for Star Trek Enterprise. It is from the episode Twilight, and it is a very good conversation where I spent a very, very good amount of time. It picked up 10 views during our show, so people are aware of it. Here's what I would ask you do. Could you go there? It's only got 12 likes on 31 views. That's not too bad. It's cruising above average on likes. Anyone here who can give it a like and queue it up to watch later, I would deeply appreciate it. And just give it a watch. Tell me what you think. We took the episode Twilight and we really reviewed it deeply. We had a great conversation about all the facets of it. It's a standout for the series Enterprise. And when I have time to promote it more, I foresee about 500 views this week. And that's the weird thing about Star Trek Enterprise. I can take my foot off the gas and not really have to promote it because the episode's 23 years old. This episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, if this show had been midnight, the video essay would have gone up tonight. It's done. I'm going to wait until tomorrow afternoon at about 2 o'clock to drop it because that's optimal time, and it'll give me a couple more hours to add just a little more video and a little more detail, make it that much better. I didn't set out to start making Strange New Worlds videos, and I don't know if there's one to be made every week, but this one was another video because it was standout stupid. And like I said, the pure wish fulfillment of the frail white woman throwing the black man through the wall, like what was that supposed to be, if anything else? And then these wokies, they meet shield-like gamers behind the black character, who they then throw in fucking jail because he's mentally disturbed and went for a gun. I mean, you can't make this up, but they did. They did.
So
you know what?
I'd like to
he was
end
mostly
it here
peaceful. He was mostly peaceful.
My review
Go ahead.
of this.
Go ahead.
D plus.
D
Or
plus?
a long black prick D. Plus.
And
Wow,
as bad
that's
as most
optimistic,
Disney
JT.
Plus.
That
it
is
was
way
bad
optimistic.
enough as most Disney Plus shows.
It was
too.
just the tip. It was the tip.
Yeah.
Operation Only the Tip has been a successful successful operation for years. Mostly successful.
I give it a D plus because they didn't trash the legacy of Gene Roddenberry and Bill Shatner both in one episode. I mean, they did, but
Fair enough.
but not explicitly in dialogue. So that's why I give it a D plus.
Actually be qualified as a
JT
Star
has
Trek
spoken.
episode. I mean, it came off more like just a sci-fi episode.
Sir, that was so controversial. Sir.
Well, if it was controversial, I thought he picked up the D plus from the court of the WNBA. So
Well, he did make mention of the long black prick.
It should have been a Gorn, because then it would be green.
Oh,
Well, that's the reason why I mentioned earlier the alien going out on the WNBA court.
All right, enough of this.
1 minute to auto-destruct.
I'll be back
That's the reason why I have the
on
word
Saturday
one.
night
Yeah.
with most of these insane people that you see with you, and maybe on Saturday we'll be a little less insane than we were tonight. This is good therapy. Next week, I don't know if we're gonna make the switch to Landman. Do we are we jettisoning Strange New Worlds, or are we gonna see this one through? Just Radioactive has made a passionate case. I saw you on mute a minute I said it. Has made a passionate case that, you know what? This should be more than just some weird stain on the concrete that people see going to work in the morning. This was a crime. It's a crime against us. It's an attempt to sabotage Star Trek. I think it's very malicious business practices. I don't know if it's illegal, but Alex Kurtzman, in my opinion, you are a damned unethical businessman and one fucking talentless hack writer. Xena Warrior Princess needs to have a reboot to have you go do that and be the showrunner of that. You are out of your depth with Transformers, and you are way out of your depth in this. We have a Star Trek show from you that is out of its depth addressing pregnancy, addressing friendship, addressing simple familial love, addressing fatherhood, addressing the right to defend oneself, the having to say that there's the good and evil are just a point of view. That's a fucking Bond villain speech. And if you think you put that in the mouth of your hero, if that's something your hero says, that says a lot about you. Fuck you, guy. Fuck you. You're a weirdo.
Teague, you mentioned love. What's love got to do?
With
got to
it?
do with
What
it.
is love?
Well, I mean, you mentioned stains. I'm pretty sure we've probably seen better stains out of a teenager's sock drawer.
No.
With that in mind, Sean Carter, you get to pitch first. What are you doing this week?
This week I'm going to try to finish the Romulan Warbird I've been building. Try to get some views back on the channel. It should be done. I'm almost done painting it, and should be pretty cool. And then
You should do what Andy does when he's on some shows. He just turns on the camera and he's like crafting while he's talking, and then he'll just like be like, to your point.
Well, it would, but you'd be hearing my airbrush going. Brrr.
Okay, I get it. Thank you for your, very much for your commitment to the show. It's been a great week, and I can't wait for Saturday when we get to do some regular Star Trek. And I don't know which one we're going to do yet. There's not enough time to take a poll, but thank you so much, Sean. Wes Cagle, you going to be with Dad Man this week, and when?
Yeah, we it's usually on Wednesdays, sometimes Friday nights, depending on what's going on. He has a squirrel stream going on. I mean, he's got a lot going on in the real world now, so
yeah,
it's hit or miss sometimes. But Wednesday usually fairly regular. So
okay. And so with me, I'll be back on Saturday night with the rest of these crazy people. One of you went and hit the like on my video. Do me a favor, watch it when we're done. And if you can't, you can't. But you know what? It would help me out.
It doesn't matter. Nobody cares.
I feel like you're right. I feel like I'm just begging for nothing, and that nobody really wants to go like my videos so that more people will see it so it can light up tomorrow. But I know that when I drop... Sorry, sir. When I drop this video for this episode of Strange New Worlds tomorrow, it's going to be one of the only video essays available on it. It's going to be the best one. Believe me. Believe me. So I'll be back on Saturday.
Tremendous.
It's going to be absolutely fantastic. So it's already crossed over to Friday, which means tomorrow we'll be back on Saturday night at 10 p.m. with another exciting episode of Star Trek Enterprise. Guys, we love you all, and you have earned Sydney Sweeney. Here she is to bring us out of the show. Play us out. What does that mean? What do you mean Spock has the right symbols from the outside of the pyramid? What are you talking about? Play us out. You know what? I'll write it myself now.
That was so controversial. Sir. Sir.
Insufficient sensor data. Incorrect.
10 fucking grueling hours.